works better than yesterday.
No.
Bueller?
No.
Do we have an
Bueller?
intro?
You're live.
Welcome to the Late Sesh. What's going on, everybody?
We live?
Oh, sweet A, I'm a
I
talking
get-
seed.
Oh, you are talking seed.
The
Oh, we are
talking-
live.
Talking seed. I
Hi,
got
chat.
Got my
Look
chat.
at my seed, Red.
Look at my seed.
Ooh, I like your seed.
You got your seed all over your screen sequence. Clean that shit, man.
Seed is
Dominate.
Seed is
It's all over your
And-
screen.
And it does show up on screen, so
It's
you
on the
can
corner of
finally
my
see
screen
sequence.
too.
your stem is popping out of your seed.
Your meristem.
It usually does.
Your apical
Cheers, Daddy Red.
stem. Cheers, Daddy Red.
Yeah, cheers, Daddy Red. I saw him on Medical Mondays watching that too. That's pretty cool.
He gets around.
Daddy Red's out there.
Red, did you get any more messages from Mama Red last night about all of the inconsistencies in your storytelling?
No,
No.
I either I'm remembering a friend or their parents put me on a leash. If it wasn't my mom, it was somebody else's mom.
It was a red leash, right? That's the whole purpose on the red leather, yellow leather. You're really talking about that leash and reliving your PTSD every
Red leather,
single
yellow
time.
leather.
Yeah.
My mom was thinking right now, well, that's what's wrong with him. There it is. There it is.
It explains so
This is
much.
what happened. I wasn't there. Somebody leashed him up.
Poor Red, covered in leather.
Multicolored. You know what got me? When the adults would wear the hats. You know what hats? They were umbrellas. Fucking umbrellas on their heads.
I'm not sure which hats, Red. We were at
I'm
different
not
parties.
The umbrella hat. And then Beetlejuice had the umbrella hat.
I remember that.
Yeah, see?
I think that's the first time I've seen an umbrella hat was on Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. And then when the adults wore it, oh fuck. The adults are Beetlejuice. What the fuck's going on?
Oh, that's
From
right.
your left, from your right. Beetlejuice from an adult. What the hell's going on?
Well, one good thing is that we like to stay off lead here at the Late Sesh. So you're free to run and roam and scamper and frolic as much as you'd like to, right?
Well, when you're staring down into your soil, and you see that one nematode down there.
soil or
Hey,
soul?
hey. Don't say Beetlejuice 3 times. In fact, we can't say it one more time on the show.
What about Candyman?
Well, that's only once. So
Say it 2 more times, I dare you.
dude,
The Candyman can, Skilbo.
dude, that movie did not allow me to sleep in my bedroom. So I was
Great
ecstatic
song.
as
I
a
love
little
that
kid,
song.
dude. I got to move down into the basement as a ripe, very young age. Remember, the teenager that lives in the basement. I got to move down to the basement. I was like 8 or something. I got to like work out my basement and build the room and stuff. Moved down the basement super early, super young, and then we like refurnished it at some point. But when I was like down there when I was super young, I ended up watching Candyman, and I had to sleep in the guest bedroom in the upstairs for like a good
Pain in the
solid
brain, get your
6 or 8 months.
Just waiting for it.
Could not sleep in my bedroom, man. I was afraid that hook was gonna come up through my bed. Wasn't gonna happen.
Dude, the same thing happened to me with Flash Gordon. I had to sleep with my mom on the
You get
floor
right.
in my parents' room, man. For a long time after watching Flash
The
Gordon.
Flash?
No,
Yeah,
it
he
goes like
stuck
this.
his
It goes,
hand in that log and got stung by those scorpions. I'm forever terrified of scorpions because of that movie, too.
Flash.
Thought for sure those fuckers were going to be all over my bedroom.
It
Even though I
sounds
lived
a
in
lot like Red got bamboozled into believing he got some special deal by getting the basement
Special
treatment.
powers, yeah.
His parents really just booted him down there.
Go downstairs, Red.
Go down.
I got the
stairs.
basement treatment, too.
The basement is awesome. I don't know what I would never bitch about
When
the
you're the
basement.
teenage kid.
Yeah,
I
man.
loved it. I loved
We had a
it.
pool table
I
and a
couldn't
bar.
do it for so long.
Get a
man.
bar.
Fuck yeah,
I
man.
couldn't do it. I had to
We had
sleep
my
in the
own
spare
bar.
bedroom, and then I finally made it back down to the basement again, and then we ended up redoing it, and then I became a teenager, and it was fine. But like, fuck, man, for a long time I just couldn't even sleep in my own room because Candyman freaked me the fuck out.
He didn't know how to get to the basement, Red? I mean, no one can hear you scream down there.
No, dude, that's where he's at, is in the basement. The
I thought
lowest
that's
I
what
level.
never
Freddy
saw that
Krueger
movie,
was.
Fred. What's it about?
The
Candyman?
original. The original. I don't want too many spoilers, but I guess it's about a It's about a
shady
slave.
movie now.
It's about a slave who ends up becoming what he's like he's a ghost.
If you say his name 3 times in the mirror, he will.
Yeah, and he comes through and basically he's seeking vengeance on those that burned him at the stake, basically. I don't something to do with bees and honey. Maybe he was a beekeeper. And yeah, he ended up and I think there's a real storyline that actually goes on with Candyman, man. So I don't want to speak too wrongly about this because I think there's an actual
Son doesn't see it yet. There,
like real like folklore behind this. So
Red, you want a fun fact, Red?
don't
That
quote
movie
me
is
on this
30
shit.
years old now. I think that came out in
the
92.
oh yeah, and I'm talking about the original. I haven't seen the new one or anything. I'm talking about the original. Of the new one kept me from sleeping in my bed as an adult, but I haven't seen the new one actually. But the old one, man, yeah, that was creepy. It takes place in like Queens. It takes place in like New York.
Something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that.
The blonde
And,
lady.
yeah, and they're like on the land where this old farm used to be, obviously like 1800s, something like that. Hundreds of years before New York City, Queens, a borough in Queens exists, And yeah, and it's about she's a social worker. I think she's a social worker or something like that. And she's just kind of like trying to help families and shit like that, and ends up getting raked into this like folklore. And yeah, man, it's a pretty wild gore horror movie. Because when I was a kid, like they use like spaghettios and shit. To me, it reminded me.
Yes.
There's like it looked like this. I can't tell you the
Psycho
scene,
American.
lady. I don't want to spoil the scene because it involves.
I love that you talked about not wanting to spoil it and then
But then
talked
tells
about
us
it for like
every
4 more
fucking
minutes.
scene. Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk
Welcome
about
to
the
the Michigan
spaghettios scene
Bros.
because
Yeah, I think you're all right, Red.
Roger
I
Ebert
probably
reviews.
won't see it.
No.
you should though.
Yeah. Probably will be on.
You should though, he says.
I heard him.
Everyone should be traumatized with that one at least once.
What's your scariest movie? The rest of you guys. If that's Red's.
That's probably mine. Yeah.
So what's your
That's
scariest
that's
movie,
definitely
Skilbo?
one triggered.
Mine's The Notebook.
Don't let it be real.
Too much crying. It causes you to shed a tear.
I never saw it. Does that make me not a chick?
I don't know. I've seen, like, I went through a stage when I was a kid, like 13, 14 years old, and there's always back in the day, there'd be that one video rental place that would have all kinds of B movies and crazy shit and stuff. So probably something from that. Maybe like 3 on a Meat Hook or fucking I Spit on Your Grave or what's another one that was bad? I know when I was really young, I seen Faces of Death and I thought that shit was real.
Oh,
like,
dude.
oh, fuck, this is
Yeah.
some crazy shit, man.
Man.
I used to like movies like, and I was always into horror movies as a thing. I liked like the oh shit, there you go, zooming. What was it? The Trilogy of Terror. I used to love
Red
Trilogy
says
of Terror. That one was fun. I used to love Tales from the Crypt, shit like that.
If I let my hair grow, would I look like him?
What was the one with where they found the thing in the backyard? There was like a door. There was like a door to hell in the backyard. What was that one? The Door to Hell in the Backyard. What the hell was that one? The Gate. Remember the Gate?
Oh, the mother-in-law's suite.
There was the Gate, dude. The Gate, and there was like the Gate 2, Gate 3, the Gate 4, the Gate 5, Gate 6, Gate 7.
How about Scooby-Doo 13 Ghosts or whatever it was?
13 Ghosts, yeah, that was like more in the modern era of like
More
films.
Vincent Price and Fall of the House.
No,
of
not even. More like 70s and 80s. Like Rosemary's Baby, Martyrs. You see Martyrs? Martyrs is a wild one.
Red, do you see the comment in chat for you?
No, I'm not
John
actually.
John.
I'm not on chat. I'm on our beautiful.
I thought you said you were going to do this double thing and double screens and have a phone.
I'm terrible with the phone, man. This thing, I want to be engaged with you guys. So, and then if I have the chat pulled up, and then I have to like limit this beautiful screen that I'm looking at, which you guys, your chat land can't see it, but it's basically a full screen version of what you guys are looking at.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Otherwise, the I guess the back end version of this program is
Yeah,
like
send.
I'm there twice. There's a chat window on the side, and then if I put up the other chat, there'd just be too much shit on the screen. So it's better just have this thing a nice big full screen at us.
I'm with you. I'm struggling though. I have a second screen.
I'm Ray
just
Chan.
off.
Yeah, sorry guys. This is why I don't use my phone. Hold on. That was
Professional DJ.
that was
Yeah, no shit, right? This is the guy that's
well,
gonna take care of your wedding
know,
dreams.
Hey, I don't use my phone. I don't use my phone at the gigs, so let me
Okay.
log into the show here, guys.
Man.
Hold on, get this up here.
Painted Lady hasn't
There we
said
go.
anything
Hello, everybody.
begrudgingly to any of us this whole 10 minutes into the show, and she's had so many opportunities to get after.
You know, I'm turning over a new leaf, Skilbo, tonight.
You want to know the real
Start
reason? I
tonight?
haven't said anything yet. Just wait till I say something.
Howard too. Right?
That's right, Sam. I don't have time. For that.
Touche.
Well, yeah, fair, because you always have to fucking shit on my parade. Every time.
It's rain on your parade.
Shitting
gonna-
on the
I'm
parade.
gonna piss
is
all over
bad.
your head.
Incredibly
I thought it
Wash
sounded,
off.
I thought it sounded
Golden
better. I
showers.
was just
That's
gonna
one
go.
hell of a parade. See, you need umbrella hats.
We're back to the beginning, Red. We've full
This is where
circled
you need
already.
umbrella hats.
I'd rather
when
have
you
a
shit on
bowl. I want
parade.
something more sturdy than an umbrella. If it's just
They call that a
Especially if
callback
it's
joke.
Fucking, like, what is this?
Callback
These
joke.
things are like this big around, dude. What is that? This thing's gonna protect not even your shoulders. Like,
I
maybe
mean,
they-
as long as you don't get it in
maybe-
your eyes or your
maybe
mouth
they
or any
were-
of your orifices, you should be good.
This will protect some shit right here.
Your
Good
what?
size
Skilbo?
Orifices.
or orifice.
Any kind of opening is an orifice. Yeah.
Orifice.
Sound like you were having trouble spitting that one out.
How many orifices?
Not a word that
does
gets used
porpoise
very
have?
often in everyday language. I had to.
He's not big into
Oh,
spitting.
man. Yeah,
Or surfaces,
it's all about the swallow.
You gotta, usually when you spit, it comes from an orifice.
she said.
Spit that hot fire. I got
Right
the
up that-
hottest mixtape of 2022
right up
coming
that
out
orifice.
next month. Just wait and see. I got so many featurings on there.
The dog's being mischievous over here. He's over here chewing on damn it dolls and all kinds of things, getting into the
I could make a whole
dabs.
concept album with nothing but red clips and just throw some beats to it and shit. And it would be.
I still
Sensation's
can't
not
get
on the-
the image of him opening his present out of my head. It was so
Oh
funny.
yeah,
That was a great video, man.
TOG opens gifts. He's a gift opening dog.
Oh, it was
And
so funny.
That's what he's doing. He's over here looking for gifts. He's still he's picking up gifts out of everywhere. He's like, "Oh, this is yours. Well, it's mine now." I had to do this
I'll
thing
get
where I had
that
to
for
limit
you.
him down to one toy. One toy. You guys, this is the trick, Skill, but you're the dog trainer, so I know you know this trick. You gotta give your dog limited toys. You give your
You
dog
just
a
cycle.
ton of toys. If you have a whole box,
You
of
have to
toys,
rotate
1,000
them.
Toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
Then-
leave like 3 down.
Rotate 'em every 2
Everything
weeks.
becomes a toy, and when I mean everything becomes a toy, everything fucking becomes a toy. So you
Yeah.
got to get down to like, there's only this is your toy, and then like specifically this. He has like 3, that he knows this, but I can leave shit everywhere. I can leave stuff all over the house. He won't get into anything.
Right.
Worst one that he got, I had like a 200 or 300 pair. They were a gift, man. They were really nice, like craftsman work boots. They were Kevlar toe or steel toe or whatever they were. Beautiful high heel or high
High heel
I
boots.
feel.
not high heel, high
I need to
high
get some of
cuff,
those.
high
High
ankle.
heel and
hard girl
Kevlar.
boots.
Those things
High-
look badass.
They were they were non-slip, oil resistant, the whole 9, dude.
That comes in handy on stage.
Red
I
and
came
they like
home.
yes, he's got the
I
whole
came
face
home
paint on
and the
everything.
only
High heel boot.
thing that was on the floor were the soles of the shoes.
Dude, he
the
ate
rest-
all of it.
well, I'm sorry, the
Except for
soles
the
and the
Kevlar.
toes, the soles and the toes, Kevlar toes. The boots were completely gone. It's like gone. They were so delicious. I worked in a kitchen,
So they had all kinds of bacon grease and other shit on them.
bacon
Yeah.
grease,
Oh,
chicken, it was a
Dude.
tallow, beef tallow, just soaked into these things. Couple good solid years of working in these bad boys. He loved them, man. They were. It was time for a new pair of boots, anyways. But
Crocs, Red. Kitchen Crocs.
Ah,
They're called the
kitchen,
bistro
dude, no
ones, man.
way,
Don't buy Crocs for a kitchen that have the holes in
What?
them. That's not going to help you that much.
Hey,
kitchen
It's kind of playing hit or
Crocs
miss with
sounds
the
like
oils.
I am
such
almost-
The bistros.
I'm almost always impressed if I see anyone in Crocs. I'm just gonna say that.
Crocs.
You're impressed. You
I
keep them in
only wear
four-wheel drive,
Crocs
that's
in a
it.
grow room because they're damn near plastic and I can bleach them.
You
It's
can
the
walk
only
through
reason.
bleach and they don't melt.
Yeah, I wear Crocs in a grow room. That's about
A grow interview might be the one time where wearing Crocs might get you the job.
it.
Uh, Do you have to have the canvas leaf ones, or can you have anything? Just the professional straight black ones are probably the way to go.
I go straight. I'll go straight black, but I put them in sport mode. So you got the
Sport
heel
mode.
back.
Okay.
Yeah, heel back. Yep.
You gotta have the
So
heel.
you know that you care about
You're ready
safety.
to move at any moment in any
Heels
direction,
gotta be
almost
up.
like
Heels gotta be
Heels up, man.
heels up.
What's up, baby?
Heels gotta be up. That way you can run away. You gotta be able to
That's for
sprint.
comfort. Heels up for comfort.
Dude,
Now,
yeah,
see-
you're like lifting your heel with you as you walk. It's like this extra little bit of like thing that you're paying attention to at all times. Like today, I've been walking around with one slipper up on my heel, so it's good. I have, it's on my foot, and the other one I'm on the heel of the slipper, right? So I'm walking like all fucking day, dude. So I'm like walking like I'm like lifting. I'm like tucking my foot in the one slipper all the time. All I have to do is bend down one little thing and hike my heel right up, or hike the slipper right up on my heel, and I'm fucking good. No, I haven't been in bed all day, or my slipper. I've just been home all day. Finally, get a chance. I actually had to go pick up my car from the shop today. Thank God that thing's finally fixed. It's been sitting in my driveway all year. Becca's actually never gotten a chance to drive in that thing with me because the day that I was supposed to, her and I were going to go on our first date, I hit something and it locked up my my caliper and a bunch of shit. I drove on it for a little while. Actually, she drove in it with me like once or twice, and I parked it. Haven't been able to fucking drive it since. That's about it. Drove her that first date, and I made it there. I made it, Becca.
It's only been 8 months, right, or whatever it is now.
Yeah, just parked up in the driveway, dripping rust, and
Dripping rust.
car was a garage car for like
Tires getting flat.
20 years.
Red, I have a question for you. So you call them slippers. Does anybody call them house shoes?
Yeah, these are house shoes.
No.
No.
Yeah, my house shoes.
Jeez, I thought I could.
You mean my house slides?
House slides? Yeah, my
Hose
slides.
slides. Yeah, we call them the hose
I've got all Crocs, so
We call them glizzies.
I come in my
Like
door
glizzies.
and I found these shoes called Kiziks. They totally fucking got me with Instagram advertising. But they're like a more stylish. They're like regular shoes, but you don't gotta fucking tie them. You tie them one time, but you just kick them on and off. They're fucking awesome. But anyhow, so there's a lot like a Croc, except for it's an actual shoe and not a Croc. So I kick back my Kiziks and I go right into my fucking Crocs, and I can wear them, all through the house. And then I got a separate pair of Crocs for my grow. And then
Jesus Christ, you are the DQ cover boy.
And I got another pair of Crocs. They're black and they have black lined fur for when it's cold, like right now.
Slippers. Yeah, they're slippers.
Mail or something. Put on my fur, my fucking Crocs with the fur.
Apple bottom jeans.
Apple bottom jeans.
The boots with
I don't give a fuck, man. My feet are warm, man. My feet are warm.
Going back to about wearing Crocs in the kitchen, you know why you don't keep them in 4x4 there? Because if you spill something hot on yourself, you want to be able to kick those motherfuckers off as quick as you can. Just like a punter.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Put those heels up. Heels up when you're
Heels up, baby. That's the theme of the show tonight, the late sesh. Heels up.
Heels
Dude,
up.
I heard a horror story of someone who stepped in a fryer.
How do you step into a fryer?
Fucking A, dude. I don't know, but he couldn't get his
On the
boots
counter?
off. Dude,
It's called standing up there trying to clean those grates. You know, those metal
his
grates
boots
are
turned
above the
into
fryer.
his boots turned into a container for hot oil, man.
Oh,
Foot fucking
No,
sat in there and cooked for a
dude.
couple minutes. Fucking A, dude.
Oh, that's a glizzy.
Yes.
That's a glizzy for sure.
I hope they clean the fucking oil under that.
Sure.
I hope they didn't use that same oil
They
for a
do
while.
too, man. You got a little bit of boot rubber.
I'd like to
in
offer
your-
you
Vienna sausages.
today's daily special is our Croc season fries.
We have
Ooh.
Wow,
Craftsman.
that is just
Craftsman
bad. That's a
boot
bad story
mozzarella
all the way
sticks.
around.
Mozzarella
Moving
sticks
right
with
along.
a little bit of shoe sole in the middle.
Ew.
That ain't cheese when you
Hey,
pull
Red,
that apart.
it's like the Beatles.
Croc
version.
fries would taste like a used condom, I bet.
It's
Oh.
prophylactic.
It would definitely smell like
And
one.
what does that taste like, Sequence?
That's what I was wondering.
Like rubber, man.
Like rubber. That's not what they're made out of.
Burn.
That's not how you discard those things.
It's what you do with them afterwards.
That's how they make Arby's onion rings.
Sounds like some people eat
Oh, I
them.
see. That must be a pro move, man. You fucking after you
Nah,
done,
dude, you
bite
fucking-
your own rubber to
Fucking,
make
you
sure
pull that sucker back like
to
this.
make sure they're not trying to see
You open
it.
wide open window. You pull that
Thank
sucker back like this, and you fling that fucker across your
Fling
nose.
it.
It's dangerous to be a dog walker after hours in your neighborhood. Then
See how
fuck.
high you can stick it to the
It's
ceiling.
my ear. I got
You
swimmers
got a
now.
big target painted on your wall.
Or a spot already for it with like a basket underneath or something.
I'm just waiting for girl questions to come in to save us.
That's terrible, man. That's terrible. But I can see it. I totally could see that.
Yeah,
That
it could be a professional
competitive-
sport.
It could be a competitive thing
It
for
very
sure.
well could.
Everything is now. If cheerleading is.
Are you hating on
Ooh,
cheerleaders?
she's throwing daggers
What?
now.
Sorry.
Oh, someone's gonna be upset about that one.
You know who
Red
can
still
win
has his
the
pom-poms.
you know who can win that competition, don't you?
Which competition would that be?
The condom flinging competition.
Okay. Who would win
Ooh.
that?
Probably the cheerleaders.
Out of practice? Practice makes perfect?
Probably the cheerleaders.
You probably.
man.
I
probably
mean, I
right.
had to combine the two. I just couldn't help
Okay.
it. Sorry,
You got to
guys.
make the joke however you
I
can.
apologize. I just we had to get there. We had to get over the hump.
Man, with this new software, like you're saying, I like mine with full screen too. But like now, chat's way the fuck up here, and I'm missing like 90%.
Chat's way the fuck
Yeah,
over
I
here
have
for me.
that
I'm like
way over
down here. I don't feel engaged anymore. I gotta like bring it up. Maybe I'll put it right here. I'll put my phone here. There we go.
That's a great look, Red.
Oh, I see Abolish is gonna puke. It says we've done some good. We got somebody puking, so that's good.
He doesn't want to join our Olympic Games, apparently.
Cheers, Captain 420.
Cheers, Stoney and Captain.
Cheers, Stoney.
John. Okay, prefer Recharge or Mammoth P? Get us on track.
Recharge. If I had to pick one or the other, I'd say Recharge because there's more shit in it.
I use Tribus. Neither.
That wasn't even one of the options.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
I use Recharge, John. I have a big old thing of it, and you know,
Mammoth P is specifically like I think 3 or 4 different microbes, where Recharge is like a whole consortium of them, plus kelp, plus humic acid, plus
Molasses.
something else, molasses. I think there might even be one more thing I can't remember, but a lot more shit. So if I had to pick one or the other, I'm going for the one with more shit in it.
Well, and the humics
Same.
are nice too. You know, that's you bring that up and makes it available, breaking it down.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
But I mean, it all
They're
depends.
messy.
If you're in flour, you don't really need all that other shit.
Humans are
Maybe
noisy. and
Mammoth P
messy,
might be
remember?
better at that point.
And what week do we discontinue either one in flour? Week 5, week 4?
I would say
5.
5 is my recharge time.
Well, Recharge I would cut off
After week 5.
pretty early. Like myself, I like to be done. This is my thinking on it is Recharge is more centered towards liberating nitrogen. It has all the other shit too, yes.
So after
But all the microbes are kind of picked for nitrogen. So I think the plant doesn't need that nitrogen boost past its stretch. So it always depends, right? So depending if you got a long flowering or a short flowering, once it's done stretching, I like to have Recharge done by then.
because it's not just going to be all depleted in that first week after you discontinue its usage.
Yeah. I figure it's gonna be good for 4 weeks or so, probably after I stop putting it out. I stop putting it in there, just totally.
Cheers, Caribou. Next question. JMB says, would you use mycorrhizae to germinate seeds?
I mean, I don't. No, I don't. And then, I mean, once. Yeah, I don't even put anything in the hole, but I do like to use Light Warrior, which has a little bit of mycorrhizae in it, I believe. Mycorrhizae and humic acid, if I remember right. But I don't add any. Do you guys?
I generally do not because what I do is I just put the seed in a root rot cube. But once I get that once it pops in a root rot cube and I go to plant that cube and I see if I can see a root hair or a root coming through, I'll try to sprinkle a little tiny bit of whatever I have. If it's Recharge or if it's
Azos.
Extreme or Azos. Yeah, Extreme Gardens is I think what I have right now. And a lot of the stuff that I have is I'm going to events and I'm grabbing free samples. If it's shit that I know I'll use, I'm going to grab that shit because
Right.
I'll use it.
I love that Extreme Gardening Azos and myco.
Yeah, I do. I love that
use
stuff
it
myself.
Every transplant. I love that shit, man.
So I'll use it then for sure. because then I know I'm getting a direct root contact. I feel like I'm getting
Yeah.
my money's worth because I'm getting it where it needs to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's the best answer. Is anytime, like you said, a transplant. Anytime I have the roots exposed where I can see the roots, I want to sprinkle all that shit on there.
Give them a little dusting.
I don't do it at seedling though. I just kind of leave them be.
Penny Pebbler says soak willow branches for 24-hour solution. That must be the salicylic acid you're shooting for in that.
The willow water, yeah, that shit is.
Are we making aspirin? Yeah.
Yeah, that should work.
Whoa.
So what you got? You don't want to
Holy
get
shit,
like
Red
old
sounds like
branches.
Joey, doesn't he? Whoa.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Whoa.
The thing is, though, you don't want old.
Almost broke on it.
You want new branches or newer growth.
The green ones, not the
Green.
Yeah.
Yep, and then just cut it in like discs, and then throw it in water and let it soak. You want that living green shit.
No need to oxygenate that or anything else. Just let it soak. You're just doing an extraction on that in water.
And
Not a lot of
if you have a
the
willow
willow
tree, you
are-
could take cuttings off of that fucking thing so many times, and it just keeps growing back, keeps growing back, keeps growing back. So it is kind of cool if you have a willow tree, but I hate having them around because they're so
It's
messy.
gonna tear up your fucking water supply when they find it. They're gonna break it open. Get some water now, pal.
We're not allowed to have willow in my township.
Exactly.
I mean, shit will pop with just water too, guys. I mean, we don't have to be fancy about it, but for sure, if you have that kind of stuff, like I don't like to have to go pay for it, but if I can get it for free, yeah, I'll use that shit.
You know what? I think the first couple of years I was a grower, I think I really overcomplicated shit by trying to have some purchasable fucking remedy for everything rather than just learning how to be a better grower.
I like things just to be simple for me because I do it for a living too. So when I come home, I don't want to be all extremely serious and have more work to do. So I make it more fun for me at home. So that's why I do organics at home. I can be more liberal with just giving it water if I want to. And I don't know. Organics is more fun to me. It's more forgiving. You can experiment, play around.
Well, it's also extremely reusable too.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, I'm pretty sure that I went this whole year without
No
fucking
soil.
Yeah, no soil. I just kept reusing the same shit again and again and again and again.
Yep.
And I was thinking, like, these plants are starting to fade earlier and earlier. Maybe I should, change one out. Maybe.
Earth
That's it.
Gasings. Beastmod, how important is using RO water? I think it
How
depends on if
important?
you're in synthetics or if you are in organics.
Yeah, I like using it in synthetics because it gives me a zero baseline to start my feed with, and I know what I'm feeding them. I'd have to be testing my water.
I think
Yeah,
that's the
if you're
best.
pulling like 400 or 500 ppms out of the tap of whatever you're using, I would definitely recommend using an RO to start it out, and then
Yeah, you definitely
add
want
calcium to make sure that you're not getting that stripped out from the RO.
you at least want a carbon filter, but if you're not using RO, you might want to cut your nutrient solution
Living
down
soil.
by like
These
a
mods are
couple
used-
points.
Using
using
living
living
soil?
soil.
Nah, I wouldn't use it.
Yeah, it's less important in living soil, and in fact, it could be detrimental because if you're just watering straight RO without adding anything to it, like some kind of calcium supplement or something,
Mhm.
it could strip that stuff out of your soil as it waters too, because it'd be so negative or so, I don't know how you say it, so empty, so it doesn't have any fucking.
Well, the
mineral
plant
at
needs
all.
calcium in order
Control
to
it.
fucking
Void of nutrients.
Yeah,
Right.
void of nutrient. Yeah, so it's going to just want to grab nutrient as it goes around. Water is like a universal solvent. Everything kind of dissolves into it.
I don't use RO water, and
I don't
mine
either.
comes out the tap about like 2 something, low 2s, I think, and everything seems fine.
If you're growing, especially living soil, I think you're completely fine. I would only, like what Red said, I would get some kind of filter to try to get things like heavy metals. That would be awesome. Or, things that might
Okay,
accumulate in your
cool.
soil, like a salt or something that might accumulate in your soil. It'd be nice to be able to filter
We
that out.
definitely want a carbon filter for sure. We have
You
little
say a
bits
carbon
of
filter. I don't think you mean a carbon filter.
carbon filter.
Like the carbon part of the
Carbon filter.
RO,
Of an RO. Okay. Well, I don't want to just leave that out there as a carbon filter.
Yeah, no, it's like
No, it's a
they
carbon
make
filter.
these straight inline filters. And the inside, it's just carbon. It's like carbon. I don't know how
It's
to
not an
explain it.
RO filter. It's a carbon filter.
Yeah,
I've seen
Sediment.
people use
Okay.
those RV
The term
filters
is
for that.
sediment. The
You
term
ever
is
seen
sediment.
one that screws the line?
That's a
sediment.
carbon filter. That's
Yeah.
a carbon filter, Scobo. Those are filled with carbon. Those filters are for removing impurities from your water.
Are
That's
those
what-
carbon filters?
Those are carbon. Those are a filter of carbon. That's
Well, as a grower,
carbon
when you
material
hear,
filter.
there we go, sediment filter. That's what I was thinking of.
That's
The
what I
word
said.
was.
Sediment.
That's what
Sediment
you
filter.
said.
I said
Okay.
sediment.
Sediment,
That's
sediment filter.
There we go.
is
It
it a
was
carbon
sediment came out
filter?
at
Or
once,
sediment
Thank you,
or
Madman.
carbon came out many, many more. And yeah, it is a sediment filter. They're carbon. They're made from carbon.
Somebody clear this up for me.
Skill both
quality.
keeping it all on track.
High
Yeah,
quality
man.
carbon.
I got you. I'm just,
Carbon.
clarifier. That's my job here.
When you press them, they become
Okay.
diamonds. Diamonds are forever.
Diamonds are forever.
But you could have potentially, like Spartan said, metals in your water, and then they
Like
accumulate in your
Copper,
soil,
for example, is pretty
Yeah.
common.
and then they accumulate in your plant, and then you fail heavy metal testing.
Another question follow up. Patrick says, I used rainwater to drench a soil I just mixed up. Good idea, or should I have used pH water for soil based medium?
Generally, it's a good idea, but it's still not one of those unknowns. Did this water hit a roof? And
Is
then
there a factory
drain?
in between?
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of these times when you collect water, it's usually off your roof. Well, if you have
Rainwater?
a shingle roof. You know what I mean? And is water running across that, and it's picking up shit off your roof? Or off
Yeah,
your
we talking about rainwater?
Yes.
Rain.
Yeah,
Well,
there's rainwater.
nowadays isn't rainwater typically pretty acidic? Talking like,
Yeah, but it's
are
kind
we
of
below
That's
7
kind of
nowadays?
perfect. Well, that's kind of perfect for growing, though. It's like an automatic pH adjustment down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It
guess
gets you
it
down to
depends on
6.5, maybe. You know what I mean? Get you really close to 6.5.
depends on where you're at. I'd imagine, man. You
It's
really
generally
don't
a little
check it out.
basic, honestly, when I've tested it, but it has been kind of sitting there for a while. But when I've tested it just out of curiosity, it's generally been like in the 8s.
So that's really good, but I'd imagine
pretty
somebody
high,
who lives
yeah.
in like downtown Detroit or somebody who lives
I'm
like,
sure that's way acidic.
you know what I
there.
mean?
too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, dude, I don't know. I'm curious about that. I wonder.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Do
think it was
do some
acid
daily
rain, but
rain
I bet you it might be.
Curious about
Might
that.
be down to
actually.
6 even, maybe 6.
Yeah.
Take it away, Painted Lady.
Carbon.
Oh
That's the
man,
best.
Eric.
Look, people trying to
You're
get
bringing
shit
it back.
started, Eric. You're trying to get shit started.
Carbon
Lady
or
already
carbon?
made her, but I want to see how you pronounce that.
Well, depends on how many times I say it. I
Carbon?
suppose I'd say both of them eventually. Come on.
Yeah, I already said my 2 cents.
I done said what I had to say, and I ain't saying no
you.
more.
I done said what I had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to eliminate the carbon filter, allow this copper to build up in our soil, and then press this copper into a couple pennies so we can have this 2 cents. Aren't we?
Don't forget to use your pipette.
So the one I had for the week
Juice.
is it Nutella or is it Nutella?
No,
I like the Nutella.
I don't like either. I've never even bought it.
I don't like
That doesn't surprise
I
me in
don't
the slightest.
like it at all. But I say
Pure
Nutella.
fucking sugar. Why not just go buy a bag of sugar? Why
don't
would I
need
buy
You're
that shit?
you're
I can't eat
talking.
it.
You're talking. Hello, kettle, ring.
Yeah.
Hello, kettle. It's the pot. You're fucking black. You're
I'm
talking
so
about
glad I
eating
brought
sugar?
this up.
You
That's
join
what I'm
the
saying.
show
I'd
every single
rather
time
eat
with
sugar is what I'm
something
saying.
sweet.
I'd rather eat sugar. Why would I want to eat shit looking stuff? I'd rather just
It
eat
is
sugar.
it is doo-doo sugar. It is doo-doo flavored, in fact.
doo-doo
Sugar
brown.
flavored sugar.
Nutella has
sugar.
more sugar than frosting.
What?
What?
How's that
No
fucking
shit.
possible?
Yeah,
Nutella
it's-
has
it's
Nutella
fucking
has more
insanity. That's
sugar
why I
than
won't even-
sugar itself.
My kids
Wow.
wanted to buy it, and I was like, "Are you insane? No, I'm not going to put up with you guys bouncing off the walls."
Well, it's because they have to make hazelnuts taste good.
Well, hazelnuts, I don't know. I mean, all you're tasting is sugar. I mean,
Sugar bumped
You
into
could
Nutella
literally-
and had a panic attack.
you could put like 10% literal shit in there, and that much sugar is going to make it taste nice.
The next ingredient list I look at, I hope it says 10% literal shit.
This doesn't answer. This doesn't answer the
Sewage.
question.
Sequence,
Is
can
it
you pull that
Nutella
up
or
on the
Nutella?
software and share the screen? I want to see the literal shit right on the ingredients.
And
Um,
is this shit pronounced Nutella or Nutella?
Australian people eat that Vegemite shit. What's in that? Is what I
The
want
men
to
at work, yeah, man.
Vegemite Vegemin?
Vegemite
It's
sandwich.
Vegemite, you know, the Vegemite
Vegemite
sandwich.
Vegemin.
You know,
Yeah.
Vegemite Vegemin
I
girl.
don't know. I would have to look at the ingredients, but I'd probably, man,
You guys don't remember the most
doesn't sound
famous
good,
I
but
Love
I'd try
Lucy
it.
episode of all
Vitamina
time?
Vegemix.
I do read it was hilarious. Yeah. And she was drunk as fuck.
Vegemite Vegemini. I
Vegemix.
think she really got drunk during that, didn't she?
I think I
Definitely.
did hear that.
Really got
Quick question from Cody
Trash.
Bees says, opinions in a clone machine. How often do you like to change the water and good solutions to add? I'll take this one. I got the recommendation to change the water in the cloner once you start to see it knuckle up and it's getting ready to throw roots. I'll change the water then to just water. In the beginning, what I use is a little bit of the, what the fuck is that shit called? Res Clear, Hormax, and then a light solution of the Bloom and Micro.
Well,
It should
then,
all end
you
up about
scared me sitting there.
225
I was wondering why your
ppm
pillow looked like
and
a
rock and
human.
roll.
I thought you were in the bedroom.
I would shout out to Rasta Jeff and recommend the Grow From Your Heart
Oh,
podcast
that
to search
kinda
there
creeped me
for
out.
on his YouTube channel for clone machines. He does a super detailed walkthrough on how to he's
Yeah.
got like ppms down of every fucking thing in there, and that's what I would do to try to get him to work right.
I got mine from
I was
Medgrower
struggling.
1.
Or Medgrower one, yeah, he's got a really good walkthrough too.
He
But
got
that one that Rasta Jeff does, it's just like he walks through like everything you need to know about it, and that's where I would look, because I mean, man, you can't answer the question better than what he did. I wish I could remember the exact number of his episode for you, but I don't. But I'm sure if you just search it on YouTube, it'll pop right up. You know, Grow From Your Heart podcast, clone machines or something like that, or cloning. I'm sure you
And
might go
also,
through a couple of videos.
his grow lessons 1, 2, and 3 are fucking fantastic too.
Is that the one where they collect all the stuff from all the other episodes and then they do like a 2-hour show just on all
It
the
was like, yeah, each one is like
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours.
Yep,
But
I've seen those.
yeah, they're, I mean,
a couple years
they're-
old, but it doesn't really change, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, and it's kind of good to, I go back and listen to them again every now and then just to make sure that I haven't fucking forgotten something, or, you know, just a refresh. It's just kind of, yeah. So I agree with Spartan on that. Those Grow From Your Heart episodes are really, really helpful.
I just bought one. I haven't even tried it yet, but in the next round of clones, I'm going to try the DWC style cloner. So I'm going to give that one a go. I hate those fucking ones that have the sprayers inside. This one's just like a vat of water with a air stone in it, and the fucking clone's just chilling there until they root.
That's all you need. Airstone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Airstone, dude. My clones have been vegging in my cloner for months.
yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try that out.
No, I get.
What do you have to do? Do you have to change the water in that all the time? How often, Red?
Probably just do a light nutrient solution.
I
with just
should
water.
change the water more often than I do. I just top it off, honestly.
I'd treat it like
Just
DWC
grow.
and do it once a week. Res change, just so you could
Yeah.
maybe wipe it out and
Those are
clean
just
it up a little
going.
bit.
I should definitely change it more often than I do. But I have never seen any healthy giant ass plants in that thing. Need to get them out of there and plant them.
Man, I need to sequence some of my veg plants.
What do you got?
Why do you keep saying that? I keep hearing that like every round. I gotta give sequence
She
a
takes
bunch
a lot of
veg
clones.
plants.
Because I just transplanted up my solo cups, my last round of all those seeds that I planted, and man, I don't have any fucking room in my bedroom.
Well, yeah, because you ended up with what, like 10 or 12 new cups? How many seeds did you pop?
Well, she's got to make choices on which ones to keep, so she's holding on to everything right now. So
You can't do that.
if she
Yeah.
makes a choice, she's got to start making cuts.
Yeah, I had to make cuts today, as a matter of fact, because I had 6 of the Jack Tripper that rooted, and I only saved 3 of them. So
Now,
we'll see.
did you just get rid of the tallest ones or the weakest ones?
No, I took a couple that were different structure, and then one of them, when I topped it at the 5th node, though the 2 shoots below it just went shooting out. It was like the weirdest way it grew, and so I kept that one just to see what it's gonna do. It's just kind of interesting, but I like doing that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I transplanted them all up into one gals, and I'm just kind of like, okay, don't have any room. Need to get rid of some of these.
That's hard because the one that you may have gotten rid of may have been the keeper. So
It's possible, but at least if
You gotta do what you
I
gotta
give
do,
it to
man.
him.
So
Oh, you mean the plant of the?
yeah, of the new
Yeah.
ones. So what
Oh,
I would recommend as an alternative, this isn't for you, this is for somebody if you're faced with this. If you're faced with that situation and you might be tight on money, it's easier to reset that one that you're holding. So you took a clone of it, take a clone of that and cut it back to a smaller space so that you can keep it in a solo cup until you finish that run. And then you'll be able to do your selections from there without going through a lot more media or
That's why it
solutions.
takes me sometimes years to do a single pheno hunt.
You just keep cutting it back.
No, because like I'll have to like take clones, I'll have to take mothers, I have to take clones off the mothers, I have to make new mothers. You know, like there's just like this process when you're working perpetual, when you're working with like a single,
Yeah, dude, that's me
single
right
small
now.
space. You know, if you're working with
Forever.
small space and you're trying to hunt multiple strains at once, so it's your only choice. You know, don't
You
wanna
squeeze
let
one in when you can, and then you got to wait a whole nother fucking couple
you
rounds.
can't just
Squeeze the next
anticipate.
one in.
You can't anticipate 9 out of 10 males. You might have 10.
Yeah.
You might have 10 females. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
I honestly get pissed when that
one
happens.
special.
I was like, I want to see a couple males. When I start getting all females, I'm like, fuck, I popped too many.
Yeah, you don't have room for it. You know, you pop more in anticipation for males sometimes, and then it's so you always just gotta play that long game. You know,
I haven't had it work out yet where if I've popped, 8, I haven't had like 4 and 4. Or if I pop 10, I haven't had 5 and 5.
I always get a greater number of females than males. It's always
I
like
popped
I
8.
do
I
too.
got
3 to
2
1.
females out of
Usually
8,
like 3 to
8
1 on
seeds.
a good average.
The only time I didn't was on those OGOGOs.
Ooh, those get so fucking big.
But
But
yeah,
I love that smoke.
Yeah, I have that again now though, so can't. Yeah, I'm stoked. Thanks again for sending those
Yeah.
along.
I'm getting excited that Limelights from Brandon Rust.
That sounds good.
It's
The
getting
Mac
close.
Lamarilla.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close. It's like, I don't know, it's weeks away, so it's starting to really look nice.
What do you see for structure on it? Do you like it?
Man, it reminds me of not really. I was gonna say it reminds me kind of GG4, the bud structure,
The
not the
Lamarilla
plant,
side of
not
it.
the plant structure, because the plant is like a nice strong plant. But then but it's not really. It is more, I would say, the bud structure is probably more Mac leaning than anything else.
But not veg time or flower.
No, man, the veg's fine, and it's nice strong plant too. And I grew 2 in the same pot, but one ended up being a male, so I had to chop that one out. So I was able to it had like tons of room to kind of spread out. And so it's not really a great representation because of that, but I'm going to, obviously, actually, I don't think I got that one to clone, but I've got like a whole nother pack of seeds of those, so I'm going to pop more. And I'm going to, because this stuff smells fucking good too. It's like, it's not
Sweet.
I say gas, but I can't. More like a gas, like something in the air gas, not like it's not so much gasoline anymore.
More like
But
the
it's
GG4 kind
lime.
of gas.
Yeah, but it's like gas, but then lime. It's like lime peel kind of smell too.
Not
That
like-
sounds good.
Not like sauerkraut, cabbage, and broccoli.
Oof.
Yeah.
Red. Oof. Get
Ooh.
my wind up, huh?
Not that kind of gas.
Broccoli, the musical fruit.
Now we know what Red's house smells like.
Borscht.
I think that's why Becca's over there passed out wherever she is. It's from the fucking fumes. All those
Dutch ovens.
molecules
We had
just
we
like
had we had nachos, man.
knocked her out. Oh Lord, no wonder.
How does Red have a nacho? Let's hear these ingredients for this. This might be interesting.
Beans.
Goat cheese and beets and
beans?
All right, well, if I'm making them,
cauliflower.
if I'm making them, refried beans are definitely and the way I make my refried beans is I do white
Pork
onion,
'em.
white onion chopped up, nice and fine, and I mix it in with the refried beans and I put beans in a bowl in a pot on the stove, and I add a little bit of water to it, and then because I'm gonna cook it for a couple minutes here with the onions, and I want to get the onions cooked down, and then I want to maybe some green onions in that bad boy, and then what even is a great one, Ortega. Ortega is a secret fucking ingredient for me. Is I'll do like a half a bottle of Ortega in that bad boy.
Red, that's mostly cumin.
Tossing some more cumin, and then
Tossing more cumin,
and then stir it up. And
I love cumin in my chili.
Black olives too. I like to add some
olives,
chopped black
fire.
olives, and that's all. That's my beans. They call it bean dip. Maybe you can throw the cheese and everything in the bean dip. And stuff right there. Yeah. Forgot
so
cilantro,
more of
man.
Like dip a chip
the
into
cilantro
a dip
being
rather than like
make
coat
like
and
a
nacho.
good pico. I'm not. I like a salsa. Salsas are nice and everything, but that's more for like storage, right? I like a nice fresh pico. I like the good fresh lime. I like the fresh tomatoes. I like fresh cilantro, some salt. Gotta have a lot of pepper, man. Crack that stuff on there. Beta caryophyllene. Heavy on the cilantro. I love cilantro.
Gross.
Some people think it tastes like soap.
Yeah,
right?
let's do a poll.
Cilantro
soap
poll.
on there.
Yeah,
Throw
let's do
some
a
soap
cilantro
on there.
I like cilantro, especially on nachos. I like it fresh.
You
I'm
have
with
to
you,
like
King.
wash your cilantro.
Soap. Shit
Yeah.
tastes like soap.
Rinse it. Rinse the soap. You have to rinse the soap off of the cilantro.
You have to rinse the soap off.
You have to rinse the soap off.
Cilantro's good. It's like a
they
fresh.
pre-wash it, of course.
That's not how that works, Red.
I don't think so.
They pre-wash it.
It's good in salsa
I don't
too.
think that's how any of that
It's a
works.
genetic disposition, Red.
It's a soap.
Oh, he kind of
Soap
he
perfume.
said, "Does cilantro taste like soap?" Not does anyone approve or disapprove of cilantro?
No, because
maybe
that's
it's
the
not,
question.
Maybe it's not that cilantro tastes like soap. Maybe it's that soap
They just don't like it.
just tastes like cilantro.
Maybe it's that cilantro tastes like Irish Spring.
Yeah, maybe they
I know.
maybe they use
Flavor 2000.
cilantro in soap. And
Irish
so-
strip your skin of all its natural oil. That's
So
what they should call that
if you ate
stuff.
more cilantro and used less soap, you may think that the soap tastes like cilantro, and not that the cilantro tastes like
Red,
soap.
do you or do you not bathe in cilantro?
Well, if you didn't,
Well, if you're asking, I mean,
I probably use far less soap than I do cilantro. So I guess that my perception is skewed on this one.
Red's a
Far
little
less.
patchouli.
Far less? That's a lot. I don't eat that much cilantro.
No, I don't either. I like a good rosemary soap though. My preferred soap is a rosemary soap. I do bathe. I bathe regularly.
I do bathe.
This is getting weird, Red.
Well, I was making a joke, and it kind of came off that that I ate more cilantro than I took baths, and you don't see me eating a lot of cilantro, so.
Look, here's the science. There's a genetic disposition for people having cilantro taste like soap, and this is the amount of people. So
Soapy.
We are in the minority.
it's very interesting.
So whoever thinks it's soapy is obviously wrong. That's cool. It's cool to
Minority.
be proven.
It's a
that
very
we have the
small
proof right there.
percentage.
Deliciously.
That's why we can say they're wrong, because they're a small percentage.
Actually, the percentage of people that believe in Bigfoot, vampires, and ghosts is higher than that.
I was gonna say it's higher than those by a lot.
'Cause that
probably.
number is about 21% of a population.
I mean, you've burned down with him, right? Didn't you smoke with him?
Bigfoot, not vampires.
No, but a Bigfoot vampire.
Werewolves,
Vampire
vampires,
Bigfoot.
and all of that. Now, I don't know about like the man turned into a wolf. I don't know about that.
Cancer
Maybe vampires as like a subspecies of like something else. Possibly
Can they?
werewolves would have to be like a species all of their own. Lichens, maybe lichens. They're lichens. So the lichens,
Lichens are badass.
the lichens maybe it's just a species of their own, or were they actually something brought on by the vampires?
vampire werewolf.
Fable does say that they were guardians of the vampires, right? Isn't that the whole purpose of the lichens?
No, I think that's that stupid movie. What was that movie called, Painted Lady? They had a
well,
big
it
series.
was like a
of them.
trilogy. It was a
Yes.
trilogy of them.
Underworld, man.
Underworld, dude.
No, not Underworld.
Yeah, Underworld.
More
is
recent. It's
Underworld.
like a love
Fucking
story
Underworld
between
is
like
so
a girl and a
fucking awesome.
vampire.
It's
Oh,
fucking sweet, awesome movie.
You're thinking of Twilight?
Yes.
Oh
thank
no,
you.
Twilight didn't. Was Twilight
That's-
Vikings?
I
Was it
think-
a Viking-
No, that was actual werewolves.
werewolves and vampires. Maybe
And
it was.
sparkly vampires.
I'm
What was
not
that
thinking of.
shit?
I'm not thinking of Twilight. I'm thinking of Underworld. But
Making sure.
yeah,
The original
Underworld is badass.
yeah,
Kate
it is.
Beckinsale.
I like that
Is that her? Yeah.
or Interview with the
That's it.
Vampire.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
taking a
Vincent
break.
Price.
Is that Brad
Anne
Pitt?
Rice just died. Yeah, I
Brad
seen
Pitt.
that a couple weeks
All
ago.
right.
I think
All
it
right.
was,
What? She died?
Yeah, she died a couple weeks ago.
What
That's
the
like a
fuck? No
fucking
way, I
12-hour
didn't hear
movie.
that.
Yep.
Dude, I have 1,000 of her books. I love
You know what the
her.
question is? Do you have like? Because she wrote under different pseudonyms. She wrote like.
Did
Anne
she write
Rice,
that? Is that
Yes,
who wrote
I
that?
do.
But
I
you
had
have
the
the
naughty
Anne,
ones too.
the Anne Ramplings and all that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anne LaRouche recalled or something like that. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, I used to work in a library. I know what's up.
Oh man, I love libraries. I could spend all day in a bookstore or a library.
We're slowly building one over here.
Oh, me
I,
too.
I
love-
dig the books you guys
Cool.
have. Man.
fucking love books. I used to work at a book bindery. It was a fucking cool job. Kind of.
Oh, that
seriously
is a
think I got
cool
10
job.
for Christmas.
I've
That's
bound
what
books
it
before
was.
too. Yeah, the old school one. You sew like 16 pages together, and then you put them all together in the press and glue them, and then put the cover on them.
Dude, I love old bound books. Old bound books are sweet. They're really cool. I'm a fan of hardcovers. You know, personally, I really like hardcovers.
Me too.
The book protector is cool. I tend to like get rid of it, or I like
Dust
to get rid of
jacket?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hate getting rid of it on most books. Like I got them sitting on like a couple of old books. Like there's like a Beatles anthology book that I got many years ago, back when it first came out. And I don't know, was that like late '90s, mid '90s, something like that, when that book and
Probably
movie
95.
series and CD series and that whole thing came out. Yeah, man. So I still have the dust jacket on that, but a lot of other books I like to. It just gets so wrinkled. It's so wrinkled up right now. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm
you
like,
either end up like taping it on, gluing it on, or you take it off while you're reading it, and then you put it back on when you go to
and
store.
that's yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kept
Fair
it on while I was reading it, just because I didn't want to
Just
cover.
take it off, throw it away, print up a new one.
Just make your own.
Yeah, just
The old
print
school
out
paper
those-
bag ones. Painted Lady, remember those from
Use
Nylon
regular
ones.
Yeah. Use
But
paper
for me, it
bag
was
or-
always like it'll lose its value. You know, it'll lose its
It's not going to lose its value to you,
retainable
man.
value. No. I read it a couple times already, so it's like I actually, dude. If I go grab that thing, I can't even open it up. It's loaded with cannabis leaves.
Oh, sweet.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
No, you want to know about the cannabis? You want to Skilbo, the purple Bic?
The purple Bic story.
Still in existence.
You still have the carcass of the purple
I
Bic?
still have. Yeah,
Fuck yeah, man.
You want to
Purple
see some? You want to see
That's
some
some
leaves?
super
of the
old school
first
Late Sesh
cannabis
story
plant
shit.
I ever grew. Sure, I'll go grab this book.
Go grab the book. It's some old timey show and tell. Speaking of old timey show and tells, last night on the Bro Show Live was really cool because Fagroli busted into some fucking antique weed that would put me to shame on his age.
I got some show and tell. I don't remember if I showed this yesterday or not, but shout out to Stacey Bass. She hooked me up with this for Christmas. It's called a Flick Wick. And it's got a little chamber in here where you got a roll of hold on, I'll pop it out. It's got a roll of
I think that thing is
your Hep Wick.
badass. That's
Oh,
super
cool.
Now, do you buy the rolls from them or do you re-roll them yourself?
I was gonna roll it myself. I got a fucking metric fucking yard or some shit. I don't know. It's a couple miles probably, but and then it just rolls up the back. It's fucking sweet.
Oh, that's really cool.
So what is that thing called? What's
It's
it say on it?
the Flick
The
Wick.
hemp wick
Flick
lighter,
wick.
right?
Yeah, that's sweet as shit, man.
That's
Called
really
the Flimp
cool.
Wick. So then you got the hemp wick and you just put it, you can extend it way out. Extend it way out.
I got to get one of those.
Light your bowl, and then to extinguish it, you just back it up into the sheet.
Oh, that's too fucking
Boom.
cool, dude.
Yeah,
That's
it's so
really
fucking
cool.
badass.
Is it heavy?
Flick
No.
Wick.
My only bitch about it is you got to buy a mini Bic lighter to fit in here because it's shorter, the space.
Yeah.
But it's just still, I mean, you can get fucking a huge thing of those, and
Yeah. That's really cool.
yeah, I fucking love it. It's fucking awesome.
It's like $12.99 is all that costs.
Hey, that's fucking dope.
Fuck yeah.
Get like 5 of them.
You can get 5 of them.
I
Fuck yeah.
He's
The
gonna
one
be
in
so
every
disappointed when I steal it the next time we hang out.
No, I won't be
Ooh.
disappointed. I'll get to break your arm then.
That escalated quicker than I thought
Now
it
he's
would.
excited.
Yeah, now I'm excited. You're right.
I don't
All right,
wanna
Brad,
interrupt.
show it off.
I don't want to interrupt this.
Oh,
This
we're good,
violence.
man. Let's see
What's going
this.
on? All this violence. Okay, so I gotta kind of be careful with this. This is the book, right? Nah, you talking about the dust jacket and all that shit. Okay, it's a big fucking book, man. But
Well, that dust jacket's still in good shape, man.
we'll call the year 2008. And in theory, it probably was 2008, 2009. Yeah. So this wasn't the first plant that I ever grew. Okay, the first plant I ever grew actually got dried, ground up, and tried to get resold to me. So
Oh,
so
man.
this would have been the first successful plant that I ever grew, and throughout its lifespan, I had taken some leaves off of it and stashed it in this giant book that I knew would be great for pressing leaves. And I just broke some tips, but these are some of these leaves.
Oh yeah.
There's dozens of pages loaded.
Remember
with
the strain?
I called it the purple bick, dude. There were no such things as strains back then.
I would say that looks pretty sativa-esque.
Definitely Mexican brickweed, something like that. Yeah, dude. Called the purple bick.
Nice.
BIC. Lit it for the first time with a purple bic lighter. So that's what it was. And it was the big intoxicating cannabis for what it was. And here's one of pressed leaves. And nice little,
Oh yeah.
Cool.
there's the family that existed in the frame before I purchased it.
The family that exists in the frame.
There's a picture here. But yeah, man, that's a little bit of thing. So I haven't actually read this book. You know, I read this back when I was a kid, probably when I was like 13 or something like that. I read this book and I used it for many, many book reports and things like that. More like probably 15, 16. And then when I was like my mid 20s, I started stashing my cannabis in it. And that's kind of what it's used for today. So, dude, this thing sat in a duffel bag for probably a decade in a garage, in a storage unit for many, many years, getting weathered in a garage, getting weathered. Finally took it out of a duffel bag and stuck it up on the shelf. You know, I totally forgot it even had leaves in it, man. I opened it up to look at it and I was like, oh shit, a bunch of leaves started falling out. I got another book I started, actually has the leaves inside that book have thrip damage like crazy. A little curious on how long thrips live because I closed that book up real quick because as soon as I see that thrip damage, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to get thrips. Shit, dude.
Suffocate those fuckers.
Old ass leaves. I didn't know better at the time. I didn't even know what it was, honestly. But I looked at these leaves. I was like, damn, these leaves are covered in thrip damage. Why would I have even dared to keep these things? I'll go find some of those. Let's see what book that is.
We did something interesting at work today. We haven't done before. We're growing a strain from is it Bloom Seed Co. I think is the breeder, called Papaya Melons. And I did a post not that long ago, actually right before the show, really, of the room. But it's these gigantic fucking colas, man. Just these huge fucking donkey dongs. Anyhow, we went through today. And because this strain is like in the top 10 for hashers, I guess. So we're doing an experimental run. And we went through today, and I went in there, and we had a big tote, your classic black and yellow tote. We had a bag in it, so it's fresh and clean. And I was just cutting off everything that wasn't basically a cola. So basically, just chopping all the B's and C size buds, put them all in this, just all the branches in there. And once I filled up a tote, I'd carry it into the trim room where we had a team there, bucking it down, and then just doing a real rough trim. Just taking the tips off the leaves. Anything that didn't have frost got chopped off, and then they weighed that in turkey bags up to 1,015 grams packs. and then we froze those in the freezer. So we packed those in the freezer, and we did it all today. We got the whole fucking room done. Did all that shit today. Went through and like, I guess it was fresh froze harvest, but it was like a partial. It's just like the A's and B's. So it's gonna be sweet. And it's gonna be so we're gonna just have basically A buds. So the trim should be fast as fuck. You know what I mean? So.
Talk about instant hash time gratification.
That's a pretty clean piece too, dude. That's impressively clean.
This is Becca's.
Well, that explains it.
This was her gift.
It's fucking beautiful, dude.
Little random fucking pipe and tobacco shop in a strip mall by my house. Not really by my house, but by the shopping plazas near my house. And I'm in there and I'm like, dude, you guys got a better selection than most of the downtown Ann Arbor shops. And they had Black Label glass cleaner and all kinds of other shit. And I was like,
oh shit,
sold. You guys are close. You're right by my go-to spots. I'll fucking swing through here when I need a fucking new dusty bowl.
I love going to those little small spots anyway better. You know what I mean? Than a big chain or whatever. Although I go to fucking Wild Bill's, which is the biggest chain I know of around here.
Yeah, it's a big one.
But they always got the shit I need, and there's nobody in there. So,
I got. I was going to BDTs, but even then, like the selection. I mean, dude, there's probably thousands of pieces of glass in this small little shop. There's a glass shop up on my farm, dude, in Brooklyn, man. Like Brooklyn is like nothing. There's like a Subway, and there's like a Big Boy. There's not many things down there. I mean, okay, Michigan International Speedway is massive. That is there, but there's a smoke shop. There's like a cigarette and tobacco. There's just all the way around the perimeter of this thing is just shelves of just clear glass, and it just kind of glistens. It's super cool. And then there's 2 rows that go down the middle of this thing, and they're just stacked double-sided cabinets, floor to fucking probably head height of just all glass. So much fucking glass in the store. I was blown away. It's most likely all like I don't know if any of it's like private artist glass or anything, you know, artisan glass. I don't even know if it's blown in this country or anything like that, but to be able to source tons of stuff and probably low prices, you know, at least affordability, break a piece, you need something on the fly. It's helpful. Lots of options. I'm not a huge fan on, you know, low quality glass, but when I need something clean and you know, or something on the go, it's go to.
That cleaner, what'd you call it? Black what?
Black Label.
Black Label. Is that the stuff you were talking about before that was like like acetone or something that just fucking cleans it like butter? Yeah.
Kills it, dude. It works so good,
I'm
man.
keeping my eye out for that.
It's like washing dishes, man. You get through your entire glass collection in the same amount of time you can wash your silverware. It's crazy.
That's fucking awesome.
It's super awesome.
What's the is it expensive?
No, it's like $5 or $6. $5 for like a little 12-ounce bottle. You know, and that'll last. You get through. You might even be able to dilute it down with some alcohol or something. I'd figure out what it was. You don't want to
Jesus, I don't know.
But
maybe put water. I don't
if
know.
It works, why dilute it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean shit works, so yeah, you don't need to. You know, works phenomenal. But yeah, it smells like acetone. I think it's acetone over alcohol is what they're using in that stuff. And they dye it blue, and it's like half filled with salt. You know, you can tell they're using you know, that's the abrasive. So they're using the good old fashioned salt abrasive.
Man, I wish I'd have known when I was younger, because we used to think you had to boil pipes.
Oh, dude,
remember that bullshit?
Yes,
like, oh, he's gonna boil it forever, man.
Crack
clean. Yeah.
The thing is you get it out and you never get the film of goo off of it. You know, it's like still got a film on it, and then you like get, you know, you get
pour some brake cleaner on that, it'll get right off of it.
Never would have thought to use alcohol on it. I mean, never ever would have thought to just clean it off with alcohol until I got into like learning how to clean like automotive parts and shit.
Or how many times did you undo a coat hanger
Oh, to get that.
Ooh.
How many bowls have you
yeah.
broken the bottom out of with either a paper clip or a fucking tool or a nail or a screw or whatever the fuck you used to pick
How
all
many
that
bowls
black?
were you worried about getting glass in your lungs because you
Is that
cracked
really
that
clean this
sucker?
time? Yeah.
Yeah. Did I really crack it? Did I really crack it? I don't know, Mo.
Well, and you think you'd be fine, but usually it breaks in a way so that you fucking it starts hitting completely differently, and it's just like, oof, it's like a shotgun. Fucking
It's dangerous too, man. You don't want to get glass in your throat.
Oh. I see a question from Mr. Manny D in chat asking about Edmund Canico. Are the decisions on what to do already made by your bosses when you arrive to work, or do you guys have a meeting and discuss, come to an agreement? I mean, it's like every question. It depends, you know. The final say is going to be made by the owner, of course. But a lot of times, his
Lead
name's
thrower.
Steven. A lot of times, if there's a problem or something, he's like, all right, guys, come, we got to talk about this. This is what's going on. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And then we all kind of come to an agreement or whatever. But of course, the final decision comes down to him. So, but that's not something we would do for, does this plant need watered or not? You know what I mean? That's kind of trusted to do to us that we know that whether or not it needs to be watered. So, so it's a situational depending on exactly what kind of a thing we're talking about, how it would be determined. But as gardeners, we're I guess just assumed to know a lot of things, and if we're assumed to know to that, if you don't know something, instead of just guessing, you would ask first, and that's kind of the team aspect, and that's how we are. Is like if we're not sure about something, we're not just going to do something. We're going to ask somebody around us, "Hey, what do we do here?" And if they don't know, they're going to find out who does, and that's how we operate. I don't know if I didn't answer your question, just kind of be more specific, and I'll try to answer it better.
That was a good answer, sure.
Yeah, it seemed like he answered it to me.
I think it was a great answer, Spartan.
Shout out to Dankman Dan and his tsunami. Oh.
How much that you got left?
It's like none. Oh, there's a little bit. I said a
little corner, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
not much. Spartan, I'm having the same issue you are. It's like, wait, I'm used to,
Bam.
Yeah, exactly.
Not much. So, yeah. But shout out to Dankman Dan because this shit is fire and I am blazed.
Now, is it the only one you got?
This shit's fire.
You guys are like watching Pong because you're Skilbo's on this side of me and Spartan's on this side of me. So I'm just like, doink, doink, doink.
There, he switched the camera.
Yeah.
Thank you, sequence.
Yeah, we're switching.
I can fix that.
And then the red's down there, so then sometimes it bounces off the wall. That's how
I want to shout out to
it's Wimbledon, man.
To
Wimbledon.
John in chat said that he saw saw Mitten Canico's episode on Growers Network when they came out there for Deep Roots episode.
That was a really good episode. I liked it a lot.
Thank you. They did such a good job making Jackson look like a nice place. I was like, wow.
They sure did.
Took a short tour. Right?
I was like, wow, holy shit.
They sure did.
Beastmod wanted to know if you have input on which cultivars to run or which breeders to use.
Yeah. Yep. We all kind of decide. There's a pool. What'd they let us bring in? I think it's 100. I want to say 100. It might be more. Packs of seed. When you come in as a facility, you have a short length of time where you can bring in some genetics, right? And they're like, we're going to pretend we don't see it. This is such a silly thing that we can't bring it in afterwards anyway. But so in that short period of time, you can bring in so many genetics. So, of course, that's when you spend a lot of your investment just in genetics and fill that vault full of fucking genetics. And so we have, genetics pick through, and a lot of them that are obviously what we felt was good, or what, whoever selected them thought they were good. So what we do, like we just had this recently, I think about a month ago, where we sat down and we were at lunch and he's like, dumps out like, I don't know, how many packs, and we were all looking through them and saying which ones we thought. And out of like we must have went through 40 packs. We narrowed it down to like 4 or 5.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
mean, that was just the selection he brought. You know, I mean, he went through and selected through the 100 or whatever it was to get it to there. So yes, we have some input, you know, and that's kind of like the best example. It just happened. It was fresh in my mind.
That's organic. I like it too, because then you guys also are like invested in the grow as well, not just employees. You're like, man, I really wanted to see how this turned out, and I think we could do well with it.
Well, it's like the hive mind thing. It's like it's so good to be able to get instant input. Like, how many people do I know? How many people does, you know, Baked Pone know? How many does everybody on the team know? And then what have you heard about this strain? What have you heard about this strain? We don't have to grow it to have already maybe heard some things about it, and then we can figure out, okay, is that something that's going to fit? And so that's kind of how those conversations go. And then it's the whole, what do you think is going to be the flavors that people want? And you have to pick something that nobody else is going to be running, because that's kind of a big important thing that a lot of people don't really see on a home grow side so much is that, you know, on the commercial side is it needs to be unique. Because if everyone's growing X,
Kush,
yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. If you say, hey, I got 50 pounds of orange Kush, they're going to be like, I'll take a pound. And you're like, well, come on. But if you say, I have whatever, and they're like, what's that? And you can say, oh, it's this and this. It came from here. And they're like, okay, that's new. No one's doing that. We'll take it. So it's that too. You kind of have to pick a little bit to what you think is not only going to be popular, but it's going to be not so popular that everybody's going to grow it. So it's one of those things.
Right, because you either have to have something unique or you have to grow something spectacularly better than all of the competition. And like your GMO is like miles better than, you know, company B's or whatever.
Right.
Before we move on, I want to give a shout out to Baked Pone, because that cat knows a lot about genetics, and you can ask him a lot of questions that are really interesting. And he seems to like stay up on it somehow, some way.
Dude, he's got a web page. He's got a web page of all the different seed banks and where you can get the different. Yeah, man, he's into
What's
that.
the link to that web page? You got that sequence?
I don't know.
It's on his Instagram, Genetic Junkie.
Okay.
That's what it is, Genetic Junkie. Yep, that sounds right. But yeah, I mean, it's him or Jack Greenstock is who the two people I would ask about a strain. The two people I'd reach out to.
Hey, Jack with the book, man.
Yeah, I've got it probably behind me somewhere.
There it is.
I need to roll
that first edition, baby. Photography, arrangement by sequence_MI.
I just designed the cover.
I actually believe there's a shout out to you in here.
Yeah, it's on the back, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is, right on the back. Cover design. Oh, look at that. The camera's working on this one.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Sequence MI. I know that guy. Jay Greenstock.
He's all right, man.
I know that guy too. He's pretty cool. And that's actually Jack's wife's hand.
Lady Greenstock.
Yeah, Lady Greenstock. Shout out to all y'all.
It's a good photo.
This is kind of an incendiary question, but Beastmod said, can we talk about mediocre breeders? And I don't know if that's a fair assessment.
We're talking about me? You guys talking about me?
I am middle class, my friends. I middle of the road. I think a lot of the thing on genetics is that really they're working with the same plants you are. They may have different cuts, but it's not anything wildly different. It's when they take those things that are the anomalies in their pack and then try to work those with other genetics, sure. But I don't know. I think you can find fire in a pack of $40 beans, personally.
I do too. Depends on what kind of, mother stock they're using. What do you want?
What are you growing for? Are you growing for aesthetics? Are you growing for medicine? Are you growing for profit? I mean, there's so many different things. And
If you get a pack of reg seeds, you could create all kinds of fucking wonderful things depending on how patient you are.
Or if you're a shitbag, you'll see those effects much faster in your garden.
Oh yeah. All females too.
All right, I've got a question in the chat that I want to pounce on. I think it says something about Mac 1s.
Yeah, there are no
I've been asking a lot tonight, but I have one more question. Oh, this is John in chat.
Mhm.
One more question that is legit. I found a seed bank with Mac 1 seeds for cheap. The guy discovered, or must be who discovered Mac 1 was selling seeds for 200 a piece, seed or no. If it's from Cap, it's not Mac 1. It'd probably be his Mac V2s, which is he took two of the Mac 1, I'm assuming, and then he probably selfed it and made like an S1 or S2 or something. But he's got some Mac V2s I know that are out.
Yeah, either that or this is a bank.
But you can't get a Mac 1 seed.
Yeah,
There's no way you're gonna get a Mac 1 in seed form.
Some people might still have. Oh yeah, the cut. Yeah, the cut.
Yeah. Mac 1's a cut. It's like a breeder cut. So if there's a breeder that's saying they have a Mac 1 seed, that's probably a bullshit breeder, or they're just not saying they're not representing what it is, whatever it is.
Well, wasn't Mac?
It could be a Mac 1.
Mac was a pack of
S1
seeds.
maybe.
I think Mac was a pack of
Mac,
seeds.
yeah. Mac was a pack of seeds, I believe. Yeah.
It's time to shine.
Mac 1 was the Cap's cut
Yes.
off of his Mac pack.
breeder.
What is Mac? Mac is what, alien cookies,
Miracle
alien cookies. So
Mac 1 was his breeder cut.
I'm sure one of my
Good
buddies
selection.
still has like a pack of Mac. You know, like there's Mac packs out there, but I doubt that
You only hear
there's
people talk about the Mac 1 though.
Exactly.
Not the
Mac
Mac
is
1.
a clone. Mac 1 is clone only.
That's what I'm saying. The actual, just like GG4.
Yeah, but you can,
You're
like
not
he's
gonna find a
saying, you
pack
can
of
still
seeds.
get Mac. You can still get Mac.
You might be able to find Mac somewhere.
And it is, even though it's very, the statistically it's pretty low, but it's still possible to pop some Mac seeds and get the Mac 1, depending on how many different phenols there are.
Possible. It's actually.
I mean, it's better than winning the lotto, I would say. I'd say it's better odds than winning the lotto. I mean,
Eventually,
there's probably not a million. I mean, if you can get your hands on a pack of Mac seeds, what is there, 10, maybe a 10 pack in a seed? I don't know what his packs are.
Yeah, I think the 10 packs. I don't know.
10, 12 at the most, you would think. You would
But
think
even-
more than that for $200.
I think, but I don't know, man.
And on average, there's about 5 phenotypical expressions. It's just I wonder how much of an outlier that one pheno was.
Right.
Well, John says maybe a better Mac, and I think that's what a lot of people have really put stock in is that they've smoked the Mac 1, and so they want to see what can be done with it in the future.
Yeah, there could be one with that same potency and flavor and punch, and it might grow faster and bigger.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean,
Beast Mod's asking serious science questions that we don't have the answers to, which is, so how big is the variation between the Cap Cut Mac and a random and a Mac pack?
Well,
who knows?
My only answer to that my only answer I can answer is just my own common
1 in 5,
my own Spartan sense or whatever. But it's like no one's talking about Mac 2, Mac 4, Mac 5. No one's talking about that shit.
Exactly.
No one gives a fuck about that. So it tells me that the Mac 1 is is that much better than everything else in that pack. Because even GG4, you hear about like a GG12 and a GG5. I don't hear about Mac nothing except for Mac 1. And then the Mac V2s, I heard those packs come out.
Oh, dude, that reminds
me. To be completely
man.
honest, on the commercial side of things, when people come into the store, they're not asking for Mac either.
No.
You know what I mean? So like
that's kind of sewer grower shit, you know what I mean?
It really is, yeah. You gotta love this plant to spend, $2,000 on a pack of seeds to search out.
Well, and Mac 1 is supposed to be gifted only. It's not to be sold, and it's not to be given to just anyone. It's someone who.
Oh, there's plenty of people that sell it. I see it.
Oh, well, sure, man. Yeah,
I don't like when they do, but
I think it was the exclusivity of
tradition. But that's I can't judge people trying to hustle get some cash. I guess.
And lady, what did you think of your? You had a different Mac as well, didn't you?
I had the S1 from Ethos, and it was not anything to look at really all the way through. It wasn't that spectacular. It wasn't as a big of a pain to grow as the regular Mac 1 was, but it was still pretty leafy, but not nearly as bad. And in the end, mine turned purple and it was really pretty showy, but it wasn't really, I didn't keep it. It wasn't anything spectacular.
The smoke, yeah.
It was nice, but it wasn't like Mac 1 isn't my favorite. It just puts me immediately, unless I want to go right to sleep.
It's a tool in the toolbox.
Yeah, it's definitely great for that. But the S1 was cool, but it didn't resemble the Mac 1 caps at all. Not at all.
I like how frosty it is, like the Mac 1.
That's those Brandon, the ones Brandon gave me are that way too. They remind me of the Mac in that way.
Just
It's got that like
That velvety, yeah.
It just reminds me of a.
it's long stalks is what it is.
Sure.
They got longer stalks on the trichome, so they kind of stick out like pins almost. So it makes it look, to me, that's in my head. I think that's why it makes it look almost frosty because they're just sticking out further from the bud. They're asking in chat, Painted Lady, how's your Durban doing? You're muted.
Durban.
I was just replying, doing all right. It's probably about halfway there. That one in the middle, just with those really thick stalks, it's going to be interesting. They're all kind of different. So there's one that I definitely don't like the way that it's growing, and there's one that looks like it's kind of like foxtailing, and then there's, I don't know, it's really weird. They're just all growing so strangely. I'm not used to that type of plant at all. It's really interesting.
Smelling similar, or are they different too in that way?
A little bit different, but still kind of, they still have that peppery caryophyllene.
Nice.
For sure, but I'm excited to see how they finish up.
What did the package or whatever say the predicted time was on them?
There was no package.
Oh,
I got
wow.
them from somebody that just had the little like.
Did you look it up? I don't even know. Is it like a really long sativa, like 12 weeks?
63, 65, I think. It's not that long.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not,
I heard it's going to go like 11 to 13 weeks.
Oof.
oh, wow. So cool, though. So fucking cool to do
We'll
that.
see. I mean, I don't know. Well, I'll find out. Well,
we can ask for Growley next live. He's got doesn't he have a Durban? Doesn't he grow one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, we'll have to ask him.
He's had that Durban for a long time too. There's a good chance it's legit.
Yeah. So I'm excited. We'll see what happens.
Dags 420 in chat says that the Durban washed really gooey and tasty for him. So that's exciting news.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
my
base
favorite.
nights, 12 plus weeks for him. So, and Dags also says 11 weeks for them. So I would expect
That's what
11,
I've
12.
I've heard anywhere from
I'd
11
really
to
like to
13.
try that profile.
That's some
Shout out
GMO
to-
flowering times there. 84 days.
Jeez.
Yeah. Shout out to chat, man. That's what I'm talking about, having the community mind. You know what I mean? To be
The
able to-
information right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I trust that fucking information more than something I Google and read on a site. I tell you what, in cannabis, for some reason, they can't get fucking any kind of like legit source. You get like 12 different answers.
Yeah, true.
John showing love for the GML show in chat. Yeah, I've seen he deleted those, man.
He'll be back.
Mhm.
He'll be back. He's just gonna need some time.
Cheers, Blue Kiss.
Dennis says if you get a pheno, I'm assuming that you like is revegging the only way to save that cut. If you didn't save a cut, yeah.
If you know. Oh, you like is revegging the only way to save the cut? How far along are you in flower?
Yeah, I mean, even you can cut a fucking flowering thing and root that.
Mhm.
And I would do that if you have like a small branch on the bottom you can hack off and afford to lose. I would do that right now anyway. Why the fuck not? Unless it's really late in flower. If if it's really late in flower, leave that there for the re-veg.
Might as well re-veg if that's the case. Yeah.
I don't like
The
re-vegging a whole plant with the same pot and everything. It's such a pain in the
Kick in the
ass.
wall.
I'd rather get a clone off of a flowering plant and just re-veg it that way.
Less
If I
space.
can. Yeah, it's less space. It might take, I don't know if it takes longer, probably does. I don't know. But
It used to say something like 45 days or something like that it can potentially take.
Mhm.
And then it used to be that you were supposed to take a clone off of that, but I've met growers that are like, fuck that. I've flowered that thing out after I took a clone out of it. So
I tell you what, I put the my veg cycle. I just unplugged my veg light from the timer and put it right into the wall.
24 hours for the heat.
24 hours.
I've never,
Well, for the because I flowered my veg.
I've never wanted to fuck with one of those re-vegging or any of that stuff. I always feel like there's something epigenetically done with the plant that I just don't want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out. I just redid my whole veg. So.
We'll see.
They're
Stay tuned.
actually starting to turn. I was surprised they finally, when I did that, when I put on 24, it didn't take very long since I did that for them to start to the game. I can see them doing weirdness and getting ready to go back to veg now.
Like sometimes with taking clones, you almost take at the point of the lifespan that the plant's in when you take the clone, like the clone stays in that point of life. Like if you take it's almost like if you take a clone like 3 weeks into flower, that clone will always just grow 3 weeks into flower. It'll always have pistils. It'll always be crowning. It's like super weird, super mutant.
It'd be like mature. It's just like mature already.
Yeah. I've had these really weird like my buddy gave me a clone that was 3 weeks in flower, and it was no, it wasn't a clone. It was a mother that was taken from a plant that was 3 weeks in flower. So this plant was just perpetually crowning. It was in veg always crowning. It was super weird.
That is weird.
It was really weird, and it grew super fucked up. I would flower. I could get it to flower all the time. It was what was it? It was cherry pie. It was super
really,
gassy.
Notorious for being finicky, where it'll throw herms easily.
Yeah, I never had any herm on it, but man, that fucker was just always in a weird crowning phase.
I wonder if that weird crowning thing was misdiagnosed.
Some late stage herming. But I've always had purples do late stage, little grape apes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is really good. What's this?
True stoner.
He
just froze him in his tracks. He's just
yeah. This is the jungle juice. Yeah.
Shout out to Pagroli.
I'm getting hit with pine. I'm getting a lime and a pine like a motherfucker on there. Oh, super pine. Oh, that's great. Oh, don't smoke all of that. Oh, I want that one. You can have the others. You can officially
have the other ones.
I want to shout out to Kazoo.
She gets monster mash.
Cilantro is his spirit spice, he says.
She gave me the finger.
Gross.
Stood her ground.
Gross. Let's see how many percentage of you are wrong.
Oh, I didn't even look at that. Oh, damn, there's 79 votes. That's impressive. Shout out to chat being present today. Look at this. So 77% agree with me. Wow.
Which is about the right number because it was saying 12 or 13%. So by the time it's done, we'll get some more votes in.
Hey, shout out to 77% of my homies out in chat.
Peeps, right?
Shout out to 77%.
I didn't know how to answer this because really I don't. I think that soap just tastes like cilantro. So, especially when I get cilantro soap.
Well, that would do it. That would make sense.
Oh yeah, maybe that's what the issue is.
Red, have you or have you not made your own homemade soaps before? With
have not, but we got lots
basil and
of
shit
books on how to do it.
Tell you what, I love homemade soap though. That shit is so awesome. I buy it at a little shop.
Is that where you buy it?
Oh, Red disappeared.
Old man also made it.
Baby, come back.
I got used to get some from Old Man too.
That was weird. Hello?
Hello?
Shout out to Candy Kitten. She makes a bunch of that stuff too.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
CBD, the rubs.
I think she does bath bombs too, right?
Bars. Yeah, the lotion bars. Oh, yeah.
That's super weird.
What? What
Hello?
happened, Red?
I don't know.
Did you
was
get
wondering
abducted?
too.
Have I been here the whole time?
No.
Well, you
You
went
were
out for
upstairs.
just a second. You were gone
Oh,
for
yeah.
a second.
That was
You were loading for a second.
loading. I was loaded for a second. Yeah, that was weird. My computer just shut off. It just black screen, and I got abducted.
Ghost in the machine.
And I got abducted.
Adaptations happened. And I made soap, man, but I do want to make soap. Actually, really, we got a bunch of texts and stuff on herbology, and we're trying to get a little apothecary started up, trying to learn as much about herbal medicine and shit like that as I can. Becca's wanting to get into skincare and shit like that. So,
You're going to say skinning for a minute there.
scalping.
Damn,
I
Skilbo.
was like,
We're gonna go scalping, and then I'm hoping to just kind of get into the regulated cannabis market through the way of herbal medicine and apothecary. If maybe that will slowly ease these townsfolk into the ways of the witchcraft.
you
know?
get into that foot cutting grime.
Figure out some way. I would
sad.
do this and then bring on the old CBD and the hemp and eventually get the old high THC varietals in there. We'll see how it goes, man. I'm gonna work on getting as many varieties of probably perennial herbs and shit that I can grow out on that property for right now and start going from there. Dude, Becca, get the fucking thing, man. Get the thing. Where's the thing you got for Christmas? You got that cool ass thing for Christmas.
Devon, get the tables.
Get
the fucking table.
Robbie, he's up on Whitney.
The pipe.
Oh shit, painted lady.
Look what she got. Holy shit, this thing's heavier than I thought.
Oh man,
She got all these fucking Levo things. This is a infuser, man.
Yeah, I hate to poop on you, but I got a broken one of those down in my basement.
You got busted one already?
I do.
So you put the herbs in there and infuse it into oil or something?
You can infuse
The
it
thing
in
was
oil.
so fucking small. It was ridiculous. How little herb you could put into it.
So we're gonna infuse. We're gonna need 5 of them apparently, and still got a bunch of crack.
That looks like a newer version, so it's probably much improved.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That sucker's fucking big though. So I don't. My mom sent me a link from Extract Craft. I don't know if they're involved with Extract Craft at all, but
I don't think so.
they were like, it was a link of the Levo.
Oh, really?
Through Extract Craft. Yeah, it was weird. My mom's like, I got this link in the mail. Check this thing out. And it was this cool. She got that from I think her stepmom. And
what I would use that for would be more like what you're talking about with the herbs, would be infusing oils and stuff with actual herbs. Because
from your garden.
Yeah.
Because the chamber the literal chamber that you had to fill with cannabis was like maybe this big.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's just like,
shit, like a quarter or something?
It's like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe a quarter. I'm like, what are you gonna do with that shit?
Yeah, it's not an incredible.
It's strong around these parts.
Yeah, it's probably enough to make like a
hash in there or something.
Half a
RSO,
I don't want to say half a cup. What is the volume? A half a pound. Half a quart. Is that it? 8 ounce? Well, 8 ounces. A cup would be a half a quart. Maybe a quart. Yeah, about a quart. There it is. About a quart of oil. About a pound. No, half pound. Half a quart. Full cup.
What are we doing here, Ray? Just
Half
confusing
ounce.
everybody?
Half ounce of weed. Half ounce of weed.
It's
Half
a
ounce
nice
of
way
weed.
to have a little craft.
Little craft
specialty
oil
match.
maker.
There
Yeah.
you go. Painted lady's got the idea.
Yeah. And
that's
it will
kinda nice.
totally used for other herbs and shit. So yeah, we want to grow some herbs and infuse some oils and get it cranking and crack like that.
The
That
display
thing
on mine
cool
broke.
fun.
So don't push very hard on the fucking buttons.
Beastmod says Levo 2, you can decarb 2, but you take the chamber out and use a French press screen 4-inch, and you can make 16 fluid ounces. So there you go. So, like, if you're trying to infuse
Court.
something for your dog or something to
I was
add
right.
to your
Court.
food, you could probably use like MCT oil or something like that and infuse into it and then rock and roll.
There's that MCT oil again. And or like a coconut oil, sunflower oil. And
I'd rather
then-
work with the MCT oil though, because it's easier to fucking disperse and shit. I hate it
probably
when
easier to find too.
I just order all that shit online.
Wow. You don't go searching for it. It's like,
Dude, I live in
grocery
bug
stores,
tussle. There isn't
scavenge
too
around.
much searching to do around here.
It's even more difficult to scavenge around. I guess I don't really shop at Kroger anymore. I'm protesting.
You're
Boy.
protesting the Kroger core.
Boycotting. Yeah, they offer.
They didn't have your chocolate donuts when you went in.
They advertise Western Union services, but that damn customer service hasn't been open in almost 2 years. Bullshit.
Hey man, that sounds like your gig is with Western Union instead of.
No, man, it's Kroger. It's Kroger because they're not
All
staffing enough
right.
staff to run the customer service counter. And I don't want to get into
Red
it.
in these
I
trying
figured it
times.
was going to be
Yeah,
related to
that's like
Kellogg's cereal.
No, well,
Kellogg's and Kroger.
maybe
it's the
maybe
same
they
thing,
shouldn't
right?
be
Sequence?
selling Fairlife or Kellogg's on their shelf, and then
They sell Kellogg's, so Red won't shop there.
and then
If you want the funny thing, if you're not aware, look up how Kellogg
Go to-
started. And
go to
what the
Meyer,
guy-
man.
Oh, I love
Some
that
tells
story.
me, tells me Meyer might be a little bit better because they got a greeter at the door. That's
Are
like,
you
"Hey,
announcing
how
your
you doing?
sponsorship
You
with the Meyer Corps?
I don't know, man. Myers, hey,
Just because you got a gift card doesn't mean that
if they
you're
want me to say their
on
name a
board
few
of
more
fucking
times, they can
directors.
hit me up. But I'm only. Gonna
I
say it
finally
one
figured
time.
out who the reason is why they even have greeters in the first place, and it's because of Red.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I will.
Well,
I
The
will
only
I will
person that's ever
compliment-
been like, thank
I will
goodness the store has a
compliment the shit
greeter.
out of your grocery
Yeah,
store if you
Jesus. I'll
still
spend my
have a
money here.
damn employed greeter.
I
Because
thought you were going to take a dig at me and say it was so I'd
most
be
places are
employable.
down to 20% capacity. If you're rocking 60%,
There's still hope,
80% at a day
There
rate,
is. There's still time.
let alone having a greeter at the door, man, you're doing
Red's
good.
just
So
still
that's why I
going.
shop at Meyer, man, because they must
Has a
be.
bucket.
That greeter's there, Red, because they think
Yeah.
you're going to steal stuff on your way
Kroger
out.
has
I'm
security.
telling you,
You could
man.
call them a greeter.
Dude, that dude is no way a security guard. It would be
He wears the coat and everything.
my
though,
my
man.
broken neck will be on my feet so much faster than that dude. Be
What?
slipping down, dude? My greeter's like 87 years old. Tell me he's
Are
gonna.
you saying you would push an old man, Red?
Right.
I mean, if I
Just
was
taking
a
a turn.
thief, if
You
I was a
could karate
thief,
chop
I'm
him
not
in
a
the throat.
thief.
That's
Unbelievable.
This is in
You guys hearing
you
this?
guys are assuming that I'm gonna run out the door with some shit. So like, I'm assuming that
Herbs and
I'm a
spices.
thief, and so yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm gonna push the old 90-year-old man down and take off with an
But,
onion,
Unbelievable.
with an onion and an olive.
With an onion and an
Unreal.
olive.
I got.
I'm going
What
to
do
jail. What are you
what do
in for?
thieves take these days? I don't know. I'll take a
Pork chop.
crowbar so that I can break into the next house. I suppose.
Well, you might as well steal a Snickers bar because you won't be going anywhere for a while when they catch up with your ass for
I
knocking that
guess,
90-year-old down.
Yeah.
Where
no
did you
kidding.
come up with onion and an olive though? That's a strange combination.
So that's the first.
Why not?
first.
I've been sitting here wondering what's happened for like the past hour and a half, I think, or however long the show's been on.
However long the
telling you,
show's
man.
been on, hour and 38.
Hey,
Pretty
they're a well-oiled machine. That's all I got to say.
The Kroger Corps or the security staff?
No. The Meyer,
the olive and the
Meyer-
onion cartel,
the Meyer Corps
which you're
is
going to
is
prison for.
far better.
far better deal.
Yeah, at least.
Shout out to people in Detroit. If you're old enough, do you remember the old Mel Farr superstar for a far better?
Oh hell yeah, Mel Farr superstar. Hell yeah.
Oh,
And you
man.
don't fly either.
It was
So
so
funny.
terrible green screen too, and he'd just be like
I was
with
so
a fan
fucking
blowing
funny,
on him
bro.
and shit.
You can hear the fan over it.
Oh, commercials back in the day were so funny, though.
Skilbo, do you remember the old, well, Painted Lady, maybe you remember it too, but there was a or Spartan, maybe you remember it too. Shit, maybe we all remember it. No, but I only reference
No,
Skilbo
nobody will
because he's
remember
the deadhead. And it's an old West LA Fade Away, but it was like some suburban Chevrolet. It was like suburban Chevrolet, do 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 do. You know, West LA Fade Away.
I never made the connection before.
Yeah, dude. I never did either until I heard West LA Fade Away. And I was like, this is
Biting
that
Terry's lips and
suburban
shit, man.
Chevrolet fucking jingle from back because it constantly on TV, dude. Suburban Chevy. It
As soon
maybe
as you
it's
said
just
that,
a mission.
it reminded me of something.
It's West LA Fade Away by the Grateful Dead. And it's a song. And I always knew it was a song, but I never knew what song they were covering or whatever. But it's an old, like, pretty popular Grateful Dead song. And yeah, listen to it. Listen to West LA Fade Away. And I tried finding this commercial online. I just could not find it. So it used to be something that was probably on the radio. It was probably the reason I can't find it. But it was like, it wasn't West LA Chevrolet. It was
The New Highway Boogie.
No.
I'm just fucking with you.
Okay, yeah, the New Highway.
You're just fucking with you.
Is it New Speedway Boogie that I'm thinking of, or is it West LA Fade Away? What's the name of the song? The name of the song, New Speedway Boogie?
No.
Shit, now I'm contemplating the name of the song. It's not West LA Fade Away, is it? Yes, it is. The name of the song is West LA Fade Away.
Arguing with himself. It's good content.
Fuck. I mean, I don't want to use Google because then I have to destroy chat. So I'm just
destroys the mystique of the late sesh is what it does. We don't fact check.
Then I have to destroy chat.
You don't.
It doesn't destroy chat, dude. It just closes the window. You can get them right back. They're not destroyed.
No, they're gone, dude. They're gone if I click it away. They're talking about MTC oil. They don't even care about the West LA Fade Away. I know.
They're trying to keep it on topic, man.
That's why Painting Lady's been trying to break in and change the topic because.
All right. Anyway, enough of this.
Yeah.
Silliness.
Grateful Dead commercial jingle. Sorry, but that was. I wish I would have known. I would have bought a car off that dude. Sounds like a deadhead.
You could have totally rolled
up a Cadillac.
Rolled up in your trade-in, blaring some fucking Dead. You know what I mean? To set the tone.
That's it.
And then
you would have given me 5% extra.
Come out of the car blazing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then offer him the fucking joint, and that's how you set the tone.
That's what seals the deal right there.
Yep. Told him to lick the steering wheel.
The herb, brother.
Lick the steering wheel, dude.
Lick the steering wheel. It's not a fucking toad, Red.
Lick the dashboard.
That's what I was thinking, dashboard or something.
You're licking somebody's footprints, man.
Not where your hands are
that
at.
shit.
Not where your hands are at.
So this weekend is New Year's. Any resolutions or anything in the garden?
I resolve to continue to have a really good fucking time hanging out with all of you people on Monday nights. That's my real feeling on that, man. Cheers, everybody. I hope it's been a good year for you. Look where we have all gone as a show. Think of all the crazy shit that we've fucking covered, and it's pretty fucking entertaining.
Yeah, man. I agree.
Spartan showing off that wick.
For every one step forward, for every 3 step backwards, there's still 1 step forward. You're still getting ahead.
Dude, it's all progress, man. You're learning something. Everyone serves as a good example, Red, even if it's a good example of what not to do.
Mm-hmm. As long as I'm in a different place and a different mindset next year, I have fulfilled my resolution.
I say, fuck the MCMA. That's what I say.
I think we can get all behind that.
We did a good job this year.
I resolve to fuck the MCMA.
You know what? Real talk. Thank you, Spartan, because you've kept it at the forefront for our little tiny sector of the community, of this cannabis community. But we know that we've made a difference because otherwise they're just waiting in the wings for when we're not paying attention to swoop in and make all kinds of ridiculous ass fucking changes that goes far too much in one direction away from, what this bill was originally intended for in 2008.
They're switching direction. They're not even going for the way of the bill. They're going for the way of the municipal league now. And they're just
trying every which way they can.
Yep. They're going for the townships. They're deregulating us through the townships.
But it's great because it's exposing the
torch loud. Can you guys hear that?
No, I can barely.
No.
You like a little hiss.
I'm not trying to be annoying.
No, it's fine, dude.
Scuba, are you saying our torch is annoying?
No. I'm trying to be like microphone conscious myself.
Our torch is like.
Sorry,
guys.
like that. But it's like, what I think the good thing is it exposes ignorance, which is good, because then we can figure out where to teach these. Oh, we need to talk to this person over here who doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and educate them. And it's just because really, it's just that's the shining light that I get from it all. That's the shining light that I get, and the hope that I get from it all is a lot of times it's all it is they just don't know. They don't know. And they're just trying to fucking make shit from somebody else, just feeding them something so they don't have to do their job.
That's it, though. There's like this wicked side and return to propaganda that I'm seeing, and it's really fucking alarming. And I get it. I'm old, and I may be really idealistic, but I realize that they are really starting to crank back up on the negative stereotypes of cannabis users. And as we've discussed ad nauseum almost on this program, is that there are already laws in place to control and eliminate and punish people that are outside the scope and the breadth of the law. There's no reason to make changes at the local level.
Right.
It's about an access, man. Why would you pass a bill, a compassionate medicine bill, and then decide after so many years to change it? Where is the science that says that it needs to be changed at all?
Well, let's be real. They didn't pass the bill. We passed. The people passed and voted in the bill.
You're right.
2008 for the medical program that the caregivers are under, and they're trying to fucking change it. And that's what makes it a little bit more insulting, honestly. Do a little bit of research on your fucking part, guys, before you go and just shit on the people who fucking voted this in. And I think what gets lost a lot in this whole conversation is the medical side of it, and how important it is for you can't really replicate commercially how a caregiver can search through a strain to find a strain to work for a patient and work with that same patient again and again and again, and find a strain for that patient and continue to run it just for that patient. That just can't be replicated on the commercial side and be made sense, at least not with what we've seen in any model across the country and the world. So we need to preserve what we have right now, because that's the only model we have that also brings this medication to these patients in need at a cheap rate, sometimes even free.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's what we need to keep spotlighting more than anything. And because it's pretty hard to argue against that. It's pretty hard as a lawmaker to come up with a reason that that's not okay. You know what I mean? That's a terrible thing for some reason. So
I just like to keep a personal face on it. Like my specific thing is that I'm fucked up, man. I'm fucked up on like 5 or 6 or 7 different levels. Depends on how real I want to keep it with myself. And I use cannabis almost exclusively as the only thing to help me. Not only to help me with my symptoms from pain or my neurological issues, my problems that I have with migraines, my problems that I deal with depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. Like, dude, that's a big bill to carry. And I tried previous to having my card to use pharmaceuticals. I didn't feel that they were the best way to treat the issue. And I feel better now than I ever have. And I'm even older than I was at the time. So don't try to take that away from me. Don't try to legislate me out of my medicine. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me deal with who I need to. Let me grow my own medicine. And you guys can continue to do what the fuck you want of ringing people out on the adult usage sides. I don't have a problem.
Right. And it's
leave the medical system alone.
And that's another great argument, is that, and that's been happening since 2008.
Sure.
And the commercial side has existed alongside that for quite a while. Was it 2013 or something? But last year or the year before, they hit like not $1 million, like into $1 billion in sales.
Yeah.
And
that's not enough.
So you tell me there's some need for, give me a reason that makes sense. You know what I mean?
It'll
Give
be
me
a
reason.
$3 billion industry in the next couple of years.
Yeah. So,
So how does yours, and as we've said, Pain Lady said before, she does not have 72 plants, guys. There's not 72 fucking flowering plants going on here. Red doesn't have 72 flowering plants going on.
I can't pick fucking 72 plants in that
no way.
bedroom.
Right. But that's made, the reason that number was agreed upon was that so you'd be able to hold on to genetics and you'd have your veg, everything's calculated in. It works fine. And if it doesn't, when they
Lawmaker
come
doesn't.
knock on your door and your shit's wrong, even if they came there for some other silliness to your home, whatever it was, hey, you know what the fucking rule is, man.
My commercial grow would be lucky to have 72 flowering plants, and I need to have X amount of plants in a perpetual vegetative state to take clones off of. I have to take X amount of plants. I have to have X amount of plants in a vegetative state because they're going to go into flower. Like, you know,
3
there's
stages. Sure.
That's a whole other
there's
argument with me.
two-thirds of your stock is in veg. You know,
Yes,
you're really
that's
only putting
exactly.
a third of your stock into flower.
That's a whole other argument with me with lawmakers, and how I'm winning that argument is I tell them, I shoot back to them when they start saying things like 72 plants is a lot of plants. I'll say, really? Because I can fit 72 plants in a 4x4.
Easily.
You know what I mean? I said, it's ignorant to have a plant count at all. If you want to regulate something, regulate the fucking space that you're talking about. And then you're actually regulating something that makes sense. You know, like California has changed too. You know, they've realized their mistake in this. I don't know if it's always. I don't know if they even were plant count before. Maybe they never changed, but they always.
That's rough too, though, because wasn't it like, didn't Flushing or something try limiting them to like a 5x8 or some
they tried to actually do that
small? It was like the size of like a walk-in closet, dude.
Well, right. I would obviously advocate for something that was reasonable, not unreasonable.
Maybe a 5x8 per 12 plants or something like that. You know,
I'm telling you now that it's difficult for me to try
better.
to squeeze 12 plants into that 4x8. I've never pushed anything more than, I mean, even 8's too much.
I'm saying percentage of your house. You know, percentage
or
of
a wattage consumption or something.
If you're in your house and you have to live in it, okay, you can have half the house to live in, and you can grow in half the house.
The basement is the grow.
Yeah, I mean, I think
up there.
I think
wattage consumption. I thought about that
ordinance, something like that. But also, what about people with outbuildings or other buildings? Why couldn't they just completely fill a whole building? Why is that an issue?
That's what I mean.
Like smell controlled and it's not creating a nuisance in any way.
Especially if it's not your residence, right? If it's not your regular residence,
you think that would be preferred? They would encourage that instead of discourage that. You think they would encourage that because you could get it. You know, you could get its own electrical source. It would be totally safe. It makes
you know what they want to encourage? This is what they want to encourage. They want to encourage people fucking stealing power again, and they want to encourage like burn down houses. They want to encourage people like, you know, doing backdoor fucking electrical jobs, and like, you know that job where you like get rid of your stove and like tap into the 220 that's behind your stove and like throw up like a 12 light relay, you know,
red with the old school grow house.
Yeah, you know, that whole thing. You know, that's what they want us doing. So
those fucking fire hazards and shit, right?
You know, yeah, they don't want us like actually regulated. They want us to go back to that. Okay, I guess we're gonna start pulling breakers and popping in fucking 220s again.
Well, I think the MCMA is gonna have to change their name. They're getting a lot of negative feedback as much as they like to think.
Are they gonna pull a meta now? They're gonna change their name and try to get away from it, or the Monsanto move?
Well, I think I would just be cautious for people just to keep an eye out for pretty much anything.
I mean, we can start doing shows on IR film. You know, I got IR film on my walls for a reason.
You're looking for a Bigfoot, right?
Yeah, it's not all for sunlight. You know, some of my IR protection is for IR guns.
But it was the aliens.
How's your cell phone sale?
Fucking terrible. Fucking terrible, dude. The Bluetooth works excellent inside the building. None of the internal walls are IR, of course. You know, I still got to put a layer on the ceiling. That's the one thing the satellites got me.
Just imagining really bad, like 1970s Mylar film.
I'm more worried about somebody sitting in my
and the drones. Don't forget
people
about
on the road, and so the drones. I got to get that one. I don't know how common.
Get a hawk. Get a hawk or something that can take the
a Maltese Falcon.
Yes, a Maltese Falcon would be amazing.
Hey, shout out to Germany today. I see that they fucking went with their adult usage today too, man.
So
Germany. That's 2 European nations. Malta.
Did we talk about Malta a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Did we bring that
they were the very first. They were the very first.
Malta was Germany number 1
today.
Shout out to Medical Mondays. I don't know if I saw him in chat, but they were talking about that German.
I'm gonna go over there and get my second residency. And
dude, I loved living in Germany. It was fucking awesome, man. Great 2 years.
And
Hell yeah, I'd love to
fantastic.
go over there.
I go over to Malta and get my residency and start growing cannabis over there.
Are you going to be called Count Redsetter?
Sure. Is that what it is? Am I
Sure, wow.
account? Will I be account over there?
Yes.
1.
The Duke.
Cool.
1.
3.
One little plant.
Did I tell you that
two?
my
Two
sister's doing the
little
ancestry
plants.
thing and
I love to grow.
trace this all the way back to Scotland or something, and there's a sitting, I don't know what they're called there, clan maybe. Anyhow, they got a castle and everything. There's a castle and everything. It's just she sends me this text with this picture of this castle. She goes, "I've traced this back to," and she's got it all laid out, you know. And she says, "I've always told," her boyfriend's name. And she goes, "I always told him I had a castle somewhere and I was a princess. Now I've got proof." I'm like, that is a ridiculous amount of work just to try to be right.
Wow.
Right? Exactly. You're fucking.
But it was a cool castle. It's on its own island in Scotland on the
Castle skill
it'd
boat.
be what would be? It'd be the west coast of Scotland.
Scotland's awesome, dude.
And it's the Isle of Skye, Skye. Or maybe it's
cool.
pronounced.
I've only been to Edinburgh.
Maybe it's
I've only farted around there for a couple days.
And did you go to the Loch Ness?
You farted there, did you?
Yes, eh?
Probably,
Did you
man.
burn one with
Yeah, I had the
Nancy?
worst jet lag ever. God damn, it was terrible.
How were the
I
bars?
got a
though?
tattoo there. Finished this off there. That was
Right
pretty
on.
cool. But yeah, and then we got to see the castle, the Edinburgh Castle, and check out a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
And you went to Ireland too, didn't you?
Yeah, and then we went over to Ireland. That was
Dude, what
mostly
a
where we
dope
were.
trip, man.
Then we drove all the way around Ireland and around over to Dingle Peninsula.
Dingle
That was
dangle.
fucking nuts. The roads were this wide,
They're
and I
all
was driving a
fucking
stick
everywhere,
shift on this side of the car with this hand.
Oh, weird.
Dude, it
Yeah,
was
I
fucking
can't
nuts.
figure that one out.
It
I've never owned an automatic transmission. I don't think I could do it
It was-
left-handed. It's super
You
weird.
could do it, Red. Honestly,
it is
So
just
wait,
makes
which
it
which
took me
which
a
foot
half a
is the
second, and then I
clutch?
was
Is the
like, okay.
clutch still on the left foot? Is the gas and clutch still the same? Is the gas
Yes.
on the right?
your clutch is still the
Okay.
same.
Okay.
But
All right. I'd
one
be able
is
to do
up
it.
here.
You can do it, Red.
I'd
I
be
mean,
able to.
you've driven stick for how many years?
I'm
now?
ambidextrous. Yeah, I got this. I can do
Ambidextrous.
it. Yeah, I got that two-handed shit. I can
that.
juggle. You go one hand this way, right? The
Someone
other
mentioned
hand's gotta
earlier
go
as a
this way.
callback about you juggling. They thought
Yeah,
they knew you because of your juggling.
I
skills.
can juggle, but it's limited, you know.
Limited. Throw one, catch one. Throw one, catch
I
one.
could,
Throw one, catch one. Throw it up in the air, both the two of them.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I could like juggle a couple objects. I don't have.
John, absolutely do not kiss the Blarney Stone if you're in Ireland.
one?
They go there and piss all over it just because they know Americans.
No.
You got to talk to the locals when you're in Ireland. They tell you where to go. Do not go there or kiss it. That's for sure.
Golden kisses.
I mean, unless you're into that.
That's your gig.
To everybody
Yeah,
that
that was a big
follows
line.
all that stupid shit. Nice. Not that's stupid shit. I don't mean that specifically.
I don't know, man.
stupid
This
shit.
day and age, do you want to kiss
I'm
anything?
calling
You got
I'm
people
calling
doing
that like
Right?
following all that like
people.
you know the trendy little things. That's what you end up getting. Urine in your face. That's what ends up happening.
That's.
I mean,
Follow trends. You get urine in your face.
That's how
That's
you
where
get
we
your-
went. That's
I
a
like
fetish
it.
in itself.
I like it.
Wow.
John.
Wow.
Did you just say
There's
I like
something new every day about Red.
Did you say you like it?
The
Is
last
that what
2
you
minutes.
trailed off and said?
I didn't say I like it. No, I said no.
It
What?
sounded like you,
You
said,
just
"I
did
like
say
it."
you liked it.
No, I was
liked
talking
it.
about John who said that's a bad thing. John in chat said,
No,
all right, let me
not you.
re-specify. John in chat.
Yeah, I heard you
chat.
say
I got it
I
up.
on the
just
screen.
do
I got
smart
it.
I got urine, and then I
isolate
heard him
that
say,
shit.
He's not
I
saying
like that. I'm like, what?
I was probably replying to a different scenario. You know, I'm like,
I hope so. I hope so.
I'm always telling three
We love
stories
you,
at the
Rez.
same time.
Make sure you do use that soap you were talking about, man.
Cilantro soap? Yeah.
What is the wook scent? cilantro, incense, some nog.
A little nog.
No, I don't think. I think I would
Julie,
imagine
the
they always describe them to smell like bad. Like it's always musky and shit.
Yeah,
I
no,
think that's why they're called wooks.
I like the fragrance of rosemary and lavender personally.
Skibbo said wook. What is the wook scent?
What's the wook scent?
Hashish.
Dreads that smell like fucking weed.
Just hash, dude. Just like not fresh weed. Hash. You know that hash smell.
Ash and foot fungus.
Hash.
That's what
Yeah.
it smells like.
And that smell
Tough acting tonight,
that
boom.
hash smell is usually mold
You know what,
and stuff.
Red? Do you know how much money you could make with your foot?
With my foot?
With your feet, like your wook feet after a festival, and like you're running around.
I Love Lucy making
Are you
grapes.
saying I should take my footprint and utilize it on some artwork?
Just
No, dude. Only
No,
fans
dude.
the shit out of that stuff. Do you know how much money those people make?
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
OnlyFans my wook feet? Make things super dirty.
And you can drag like food through it and through your dirty
what the
feet.
fuck?
I'm not
Dude.
kidding you.
Wait,
I just saw a video the other day. This chick was like
so-
dragging
How did
her
you see
All
this
right,
video?
all right.
over her
A
dirty
noodle,
ass
a noodle
like,
through the toe.
This
Red
was on
Thunder knows you
OnlyFans.
Somebody's
Talk
drooling
about
over
you.
this right now.
Gnarly.
Somebody's drooling over a noodle in the toe. Yeah, you
What were you
weirdo.
OnlyFans for?
It wasn't on OnlyFans. We were on our podcast and someone I don't
What
remember.
podcast is this?
Your mom's house.
You know,
That was one of those.
squish the toe into the banana. You fucking weirdos.
It's that
weird.
kind of
What the
stuff. Like people have weird. I mean, yeah, Green Gorilla.
Why couldn't you just do that to yourself?
That sounds like Pan Lady
After
recently made
a
some
weekend
cash.
after a weekend on the rocks.
Why would you pay for that when you could just like fucking look at your own foot and do that? I guess.
I don't
It'd be
know,
free.
dude. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Seems odd.
It's funny because I don't think any of us can see the time because we're all in full screen mode.
It's time.
It's 101.
101.
It's that time. He let that run to the very end.
Well, I'm not.
All right, what am I gonna do? Stop
Oh.
you in the middle of that?
Oh, now
usual
it does.
way.
I
Like some
can't see the
point.
time. It's in
I
the
can't
live
either.
button.
102.
Good night, everybody.
Night, guys.
Good night, Wookfoot.